Commence primary ignition.
Never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Hey, this is Obi Tahi. I play Dr. Pershing, and you are watching the Virtual Cantina Network.
Hello there.
Hi, everyone. We are
Hey,
live.
everybody.
Dun, dun, dun. Here we are. Not the usual faces.
I know
Surprise!
it is, and I know plus Mark Takeover.
It's quite the takeover, although they couldn't have given us smaller boxes as if to say, you fuckers aren't like the main
I did
attraction
notice that.
over here.
That
I
is a
mean-
good
Yeah.
point. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Godzilla really is the star of it, but
Yeah.
don't adjust your screens. We really are that tiny of boxes. You may have to zoom in
Yeah.
a bit.
This is the structure we usually use where there's a special guest and they get a giant box on the left
Right.
and the rest of us are tiny. This is not the normal layout,
That's funny.
which I kind of love because it looks insane.
It
it's
is.
my
It sort of
favorite
does.
thing.
I mean, they're really cool. They're really
Yeah.
fun. I
It's
like the
really,
little
really fun.
I mean-
melty mutant colors and everything.
With
But, yeah.
Godzilla over there, we should have gone, is how we should have just jumped into the.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What a takeover it is, though, because this is not our normal 3-person panel for a Thursday and ever.
Mm-mm.
Everyone seemingly is in San Diego right now.
I know.
So thank you, everyone who's tuning in, who's going to join us tonight to watch this very special presentation. We are covering for Jeff, Dave, Spencer. Also out there with the group is Kathy. We've got, I think, Mike and Kat are going to be out there as well. So more importantly, if you're in
Yep.
San Diego, go find our friends. They were
Check
in
'em out.
LA today
Yeah.
causing havoc. And they will be at the convention proper starting tomorrow, as well as at the meetup that's happening on Saturday, which we'll get into, and Mosh Isley, which I believe is
Yes.
tomorrow night. So
Yep.
it's quite an agenda for the VCN out at Comic-Con.
Plenty of friends to get into good trouble with this weekend.
Yeah.
So go visit them.
And that's exciting. I'm not sure I am prepared to try to go and survive San Diego. So I can't wait to see the photos and the videos and all the announcements that are coming out of it. So
I'm content to watch vicariously. I mean,
yes,
not
I'm
gonna
with
lie.
you, right?
Not gonna lie. These
I just-
days, I get overwhelmed going to the grocery store. I don't think I would survive SDCC. Yeah, no.
I mean, our Awesome Con, which is just here in DC, is a big.
That's a
event.
lot. That's a
We're
lot for me.
exhausted after that.
Kind of taps me
Much
out.
less.
So I'm learning my limits.
So I'm excited for them.
It-
Maybe a little.
San
challenging.
Diego Comic-Con is a very special type of
Something.
chaos because it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a nerd mecca, right? Like everyone I've met, I've said do it once at least because if
Yeah.
you are a lifelong nerd of any type, San Diego is something special. It is enormous in a scale in and of itself. And back in the day when it was really like the center of news as well, you would get the updates on like what will the Marvel slate be
The
for
Lord
the
of
next
the
however
Rings
many
and-
years. Like
yeah,
think like
yeah.
pre-screening, right? Pre-COVID, pre-streaming era when it's like here are the movies that are coming out.
Yeah.
A-list actors would appear on panels unexpectedly, sometimes in costume, like Tom Hiddleston when he popped up as Loki to announce like the Avengers movie. These giant moments happen in Ballroom H. And people used to literally camp on the street until we've now decided that it is too dangerous to do so. So you get wristbands or lottery or whatever. But
Right.
it is still like the number one Comic-Con. in the country in terms
Yeah.
of media relevance, even if it isn't necessarily number of
It's not the
attendees,
same.
because New York actually outsells it slightly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh boy.
Yeah, that's as of recently, which is crazy
Okay.
because the Javits Center is nowhere near as big as the San Diego Comic-Con Convention Center.
I was
Like,
going to ask that. I was like, are they comparable in size of facilities?
not even a little.
Okay.
And New York is a much bigger city, but San
Mhm.
Diego is a broader city in terms of the way the con spreads out. So if you've ever seen
Okay.
any of my photos from Comic-Con or anyone who's attended the event,
Yeah.
the city takes on a life of its own as well. The Gaslamp District, which is basically the little neighborhood attached to the convention center area, is
Yeah.
kind of like their downtown, right near the baseball stadium, actually. It's a cute little area, and all of the bars have like theming. A lot of them get bought out for special events.
Cool.
There's just people roaming the streets. They sort of close all the streets to traffic, which actually makes it very difficult to travel to. But the convention center is enormous. It's as big as Orlando, I would say. So if you've been to Orlando,
Okay.
that convention center where like Celebration 2017 was
Yeah.
is probably comparable in size to San Diego. But then the city also has stuff. So the hotels that are around, you can't see my arms, I'm gesticulating, and you can't even see it. Tiny box. The hotels will host events and be wrapped around with advertisements. There'll be stuff happening that you just walk around the city. You don't even need a pass to Comic-Con to experience all of the outdoor brand activations. Like you
That'd be cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just walk it.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Love it. So
You might have sold me. Maybe. We'll see.
yeah,
One time.
maybe one time.
Do it once. And here's the thing, I've only ever been when work has sent me. I've never spent my own money to go. And so I've only ever worked a con other than the year of the summer the VCN summer vacation when I tacked on a day just on my own and I roamed freely. But like that barely counted because it was like so fast. It is crazy overwhelming though, 100,000 plus attendees in any given day, multiple levels, too many panels, so many vendors. Working a show is different than attending a show, but it is a ton of work either way because you have so much to do.
Yeah.
But there's also like amazing stuff happening constantly. So, but start small. Go to your local con. Check out your 10,000 attendee con. Come to Rhode Island, which is probably 30 or 40,000.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
like
That's
start
a great
there
one.
and then
Yeah.
work your way up or save your money. Go to Celebration. I'd actually recommend Celebration over San Diego. And then at some point go to San Diego.
Yeah.
That was in Daughters last night as they chatted about Celebration. There was a consensus in the chat about Chicago, and that was for a lot of folks in our little discussion last night. That was their first Celebration, including Sarah and I, and it just was it was just such a delightful time, and a good gateway to the gift that keeps on giving, which are cons and fandom. And I'm curious, Mark, your thoughts on, I mean, with now just the internet and the constant trickle of information about shows and everything coming up. Heck, we're going to talk about the announcement of a sequel for Godzilla now Minus Zero. Is there any big announcements anticipated for San Diego?
Oh boy. Well, here's the interesting shift that's happened in the past few years. Everything leaks ahead of time now. Announcements at the convention are not as powerful as they used to be because showing a trailer in a room, like it ends up on the internet anyway, or they just put it out on the web. They don't have to spend the kind of money. Like you're not getting as much protected nerd cred because everyone's got a phone now. Like I'm getting as much information from San Diego today as I would if I were walking the floor. And in some cases, better information because I'm literally just updating Twitter or Threads, right? Like you can get like real-time information. The panels are largely streamed. There are all these influencers walking around with like, it looks like something out of what we thought the future was, where everyone's like a cyborg with like
GoPros on their head.
Yeah, everyone's got recording devices all over their body and they're just walking down the con. I was like, oh, I am there. I'm basically, here's my avatar just walking around.
I don't have to pay for plane tickets or hotel prices or fight away, 10,000 people
the
without
con
wearing
crud,
deodorant.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about your anxiety, being stressed from being around by too many people. So cons have to shift. And I think what they need to do to stay relevant and survive, and the good cons are doing this, is give experiences to people who really appreciate the in-person aspect of the convention, not necessarily the news that carries after the fact. So the thing like this year for Warner Brothers, they're really partnering strongly with Her Universe, and they've got that whole fashion show, and it's like a show. So there's like 500 people in the room. A
Yeah.
bunch of the VIPs are getting gift bags. They get to see this fantastic presentation, but they're in the same room as Ashley Eckstein and all of these other models, and they're going to see some really cool shit, which will also be on the internet. But they were in the room, and you get to then like meet each other. Like there's a tangible aspect that they're getting from this event more so than us
you don't
seeing
just
the
get
fashion.
from being online. Yeah, I like that.
That's the connection there. And it's why I used to like laugh. I was like, who needs to be front row at this panel? But like some people really want to be like 6 feet away from like Robert Downey Jr. as he's Iron Man. I was like, I'm good. Like I could take that or leave it, honestly.
Yeah. Depends. I mean, we were front row for the Firefly announcement, so that was worth it.
That was very cool. Oh, so tell everyone about your experience in Washington, because I feel like that's relevant to like this whole conversation with everyone being in San Diego right now.
Tell everybody. Oh no.
So Sarah, no, I got you, Mark. I hear you. You're frozen. There, Princess.
Okay. Are we all back? Are we all back?
Yep.
It was a glitch in the
you're back.
Matrix. Okay.
Yeah,
we're all back.
you were frozen
on my screen. Okay.
So did you hear Mark's question about?
I did not. Tell us about your.
He wanted to know about our experience at AwesomeCon because it is kind of relevant.
Yeah, that was hardcore. We went to the Sunday announcement. We were going to go to the podcast, the live recording of Once We Were Spacemen podcast with Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk. Not all remaining, but 7 of the remaining cast members from the Firefly were all there at AwesomeCon, and they'd been doing little video drops and everything on Instagram for weeks, and we were completely freaking out about what's going on, what's happening, and everybody was coming, and I pegged it, I called it, I was like, I know what this is, it's the only thing that makes sense. And that was Sunday morning. And what time did we get up, Jason? What was it?
Early. Because I think we were in line by 7.
Like we had to go to the metro station.
Yeah, because we're on the first metro around
freezing.
6.
We were outside the VIP entrance, and while we were there, walking around, pacing, I didn't bring the right clothes. I was freezing cold, and we were hearing horror stories from people who had been there yesterday, and they opened the front doors, which is the general admission entrance, and the VIP at the same time, and the ballroom is all the way in the front of the building. So the VIPs were running like crazy to get there, and they were still, the room was like almost half full by the time they got there. And so I'm freaking out, and I'm like, if I am out here freezing my butt off waiting for this and I don't even get a decent seat, I'm going to be livid. Because the doors opened at 8. Is that right? Yeah, I think the doors opened at 8 because that's when the building unlocked.
Yes.
And the panel didn't start until 10. So we got up at 6 to get there at 7 to get in at 8 to wait for 2 hours for the panel. So I was like, I will hurt someone if I do not actually get anything decent out of this.
They learned their lesson and they get love.
They did. I have to give props to the team because they did figure it out, and they let the VIPs in first. Of course, then there were 852 crew members telling us, please don't run, please don't run, please don't run. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm walking very fast.
But it does
they had obviously the rows in front for special accommodations and things like that, but we got the seats that were right in between the rows, right in the middle.
But that means I like, this idea of wanting to be in the room, but that means you're going to have to block off a lot of time on that particular day for that event, right? That 1 hour event is going to take you 3, 4, 5 hours of your time. Which
and then the rest of the day we spent waiting in line at Alan and Nathan.
Yeah, that's true. Those are like the 3 things that we did on that Sunday. Because it was, AwesomeCon is not it draws a lot of, it's animation, some voice actors, but we had Firefly, we had a couple of Firefly, Sean and Summer, last year, and then the rest of the Firefly crew in this one. But it's not the convention. It's not very big.
Yeah, it had to have been Jewel. It had to have been other people who were there. It had to have been Jewel and Summer Glau and Sean Marr, who hyped up this con, because I'm like, why would you pick some random what used to be a really small convention in Washington D.C. clear across the country to make this announcement? I'm like, I never did get a direct answer out of anybody.
What I like about it, there's a lot of gaming, so tabletop games and D&D and even a video game section. So
Cosplays.
there's in the convention, there's special rooms where those events are going on. So
Yeah, there was like a cafe, like the themed
So
cafes with the girls in the cute uniforms from Japan. The whole thing. There was a whole room blocked off that you had to buy tickets to get into. It was big horror element too.
Yep, there's
an awesome con. Big horror element. They had a whole room where people brought in all these sets, and you could get all these pictures done and everything. It was crazy.
Yeah, you would like this, Mark. You would.
I really think you would have liked it. And I'm like,
I
should take pictures of these things because I don't have any idea what the hell this is, but I bet Mark would like it.
But you can see the various settings or scenes, so you could pick out whatever type of like horror that you wanted to pose in and get your picture taken. People were coming in all their costumes. And,
I love that kind of stuff. And an Instagrammable moment is definitely for me.
Yeah.
I've been to Awesome Con twice, and one thing I can say about these like mid-scale cons is they always need like a point of differentiation because now there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And it used to be like if you were just part of the Wizard World circuit, it was just okay. Wizard World builds a great guest list, and they pop up in your like somewhat local hometown.
Yeah.
They're always in like the Phillies and the DCs and whatever else. Once a show has to sort of make itself, it needs a hook. And someone was like, what can we do at our con that can, like, what caliber of talent can we afford? And what news item can we really hook into to make this work? Like the Kineticon that we went to last weekend, me and Spencer and Ashley, they were really leaning into anime. And they had one of the women who voiced one of the K-pop Demon Hunters. And I couldn't tell you which one.
Right.
Or
wow. I remember seeing her on guest list. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that alone is like, oh, shit, a K-pop is here. Like one of the Demon Hunters is in the building. Now, if they had 3 of them or something, like, which I can't imagine what that would have cost, but like from there, like the anime crew of it all, like everyone was built off anime voice acting, which is why Steve Bloom's line was around the block. Like it was unreal. Because everyone, no one cared about him being it. Let me tell you, there was not one person in the line who looked like a Star Wars fan. It was very much like people had their anime posters, and I didn't recognize that. I don't know a thing that man is in, truly. Like I know what Cowboy Bebop is, but I am not an anime aficionado by any means. I don't want to overstate my knowledge in that area. It's crazy. There's so many slices of content in that genre that I don't know, and that's how they made something happen at this con. So it's probably what happened with your Serenity / Firefly crew. They were like, if we get enough of us, we just got to find the right place to do it. We want the timing to line up. We can all get there. Like it's an affordable con for most people, but it's big enough, but not so big because you can't do it at San Diego. No news. You have to be like Warner Brothers or like Marvel to like matter at San Diego.
They were the big fish in the small pond.
They sure were.
So, hi Sherry, thanks for joining us tonight. She
look at this.
She had a slightly different experience at Celebration. We'll have to do that, but this warms my heart that you're coming to chat with us about this movie.
Prepare yourself.
Wait, what is it they're doing in Korea now?
Take your Ambien.
This it's not a feel-good movie.
You'll feel something. You'll feel something. It'll be dread and terror and sadness.
So what was interesting is I read an article actually today. I think that and Mark, maybe you'll appreciate this because you're much more of a horror genre that type of, but that genre is obviously we get shows and we get books, everything year round, but there is a little bit of a trend where between the summertime and particularly the fall winter time, there's two different kind of the themes or when you get to the winter and your Halloween, you got your ghost theme, your witches, and the days are shorter, that creepiness. In the summertime, what we tend to see are more monster films, right? People are at the beach, they're at the lake. What's that out there in the murkiness of there? What's going on? So your type of thrill and horror villain changes, with the season. And so we're monster season right now with the summertime. So it's perfect to have Godzilla Minus One. This came out in 23.
December 1st, 2023 is when it was released in North America. It was released in Japan before that. Troy, you can find Godzilla Minus One on Netflix.
Yes.
If you've got it.
Yep. Got Netflix. It's on there.
Yep.
My hand is right there. You go.
Yeah. It's
you might want to reset your Wi-Fi real quick. We keep dropping out on you in the timer. Keep getting the circle of death. So we had We had some work done on the house today, and the construction people unplugged the modem and router and moved it around multiple times. So I'm hoping this is a StreamYard issue and not a I know Wi-Fi issue over here in the Barnes's household. But yeah.
Well, let me try. So if you lose me for a moment, then I'll pop
Okay.
right back.
And we're going to start
Fingers
watching the movie right at 9:30. It's
Okay.
a little over 2 hours long, I believe. So
Yeah.
We'll have you guys until about 11:30, and then we will promptly exit.
Yes.
I know it's a long commitment, especially as everyone else is like spending their time in San Diego doing fun stuff.
Out on the West Coast. Yeah, it's not quite so
Yeah.
late out there, is it now? Yeah, that's right.
No.
Mhm.
I was gonna see
nor'easters over here. Well, little different situation.
Yeah, Spencer and Jeff went to Scum and Villainy.
I saw
Earlier
that.
today. So that was fun. Trying to see if anything else was happening. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people being like arriving in San Diego, and it's like,
Well, good for you.
That's all right.
aren't you lucky? Yeah,
We're traumatizing people over here, so
Yeah. That's right.
Well, yeah, and it's a little bit my fault because I think Spencer asked us because they would be out. Hey, you want to host it? And we said yes, and I think within a day I said this is the movie I wanted to do.
And I had to give in because while I'm not a huge kaiju fan in general, I really did appreciate this movie. This is not something that I generally would be on board with. I watch Monarch over Protest and don't generally enjoy most of it. There's a lot of heaving of sighs and eye rolling on my part, and yeah, in particular moments I get a little feisty in some places. But yeah, this one really hit it out of the park for me, and I think there were so many different aspects of this that were truly excellent film, and the fact that it just also happened to be a monster movie was kind of secondary. So,
are you guys familiar with the comic book strip Garfield Without Garfield?
No.
Okay. This is everyone Google this. Oh, there's Spencer. Hi from San Diego.
No, from the
Hi.
car. From the
From
car.
the car. Yeah, I guess on the way to. I saw that you guys were in LA most of the day, including at the new Rendezvous, which is very exciting. Hello to Spencer and everyone with him, I guess, which would be Jeff and Kathy and Dave. The royal family is traveling together, which I don't love. But I hope you guys have a spectacular time. We're getting ready for Godzilla Minus One. And I have sort of a philosophical question about this movie.
Okay,
how much
JB,
of
you go
it is-
first, and then I will pop right back on, and you say the question. JB, you
Yep.
go, and then I'll be right back.
How much of this movie changes if you literally remove Godzilla from it and deal with everything else in this movie? And so my reference point is Garfield Without Garfield. So for anyone who doesn't know, and I think Sherry, you might actually really love this. Check out Garfield Without Garfield. It's basically John Arbuckle as a character saying pretty much all the same dialogue, but to the air as opposed to his cat. And so it's his like philosophy, and also it's like a sort of view into the mind of like a very mentally ill, unwell man, who some of it is philosophy, but most of it is mental illness. But the idea that like Garfield not being there it changes the meaning a little bit, but like it could still like fully function. This movie fully functions like without Godzilla, because the story is about the
100%.
people and the impact, and you could replace it with almost anything, whatever existential threat is out there.
Just the time frame, because we're going to get this at the very end of World War II. Japan's defeat, their reconstruction, what they're going through post-nuclear Holocaust, literally. And so these characters are, Godzilla itself is this just, literally a monster and just a force that is overwhelming. But the rest of life that they're dealing with, even without the monster, is all of that. And those issues that they're dealing with, they would still be wrestling with them, whether it's PTSD, whether it's trying to literally rebuild from the rubble without Godzilla. So I think it's still the same powerful movie. You just add the monster, you add a little bit more of a metaphor, and it came out right. I mean, Godzilla was created to try to deal with these big questions over 70 years ago. And here we are still able to it, and we're adapting it to newer times.
Mhm.
The Shin Godzilla, which came out in 2016, was dealing with the earthquake. It kind of used the earthquake and
The
the
tsunami.
tsunami as
Yeah.
its, tragic,
Hmm.
event, versus the nuclear war and that to talk about, and bring its monster to life. So, yeah, love it. And I agree with you. I think if you took Godzilla out, you still have the same story.
Yeah.
Almost.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I didn't hear what you guys said, but just picking
And
up
I
on
think,
it.
and it's
Godzilla is definitely
very character
allegorical.
driven.
You
Yep.
know, it's an
Very character
allegorical
driven.
foil for a bigger, larger idea and concept. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this movie is that they take something that is really big and broad and terrible, like nuclear war, like international relations, consequences of your decisions, and it distills it down to one point of view, to one person, to the main character, and then amplifies it through that lens, so that you get these really big things that are hard to wrap your brain around, and you learn it from the point of view of one particular person. And I think it's exceptionally well done in this movie.
And these type of movies, and there were movies like this well before, but this culture, I think Godzilla gets us. I've got Godzilla adjacent with my Jurassic Park shirt on there. We've got Pacific Rim. A lot of the anime movies, whether we're talking the mech and the Voltrons and those, all the way to Pokemon. I mean, I think they have a lineage to Godzilla and what that
Mhm.
brought
I
to
agree.
particularly Japanese popular culture, and then spread, and we've Americanized, and we've relooked at it, through the new movies and Monarch, and but these other icons.
The Power Rangers.
Yeah,
all
the
that
Power
stuff.
Rangers.
Yeah.
A lot of it has its roots in what Godzilla has brought, and we're re-examining, and using these creatures, these characters, these larger than life, these struggles, to work through whatever life is sort of throwing us as humans, and just trying to live. So that's
It
why
has a
this
way of putting those things in perspective. When something
Yep.
bigger than yourself happens, it kind of helps you work through what it is you're dealing with on a more individual level.
And everyone has to rally together. A country
Yep.
who's already been devastated
Fractured.
has to
Yeah.
pull together against somehow an even more concerning threat that seems insurmountable. Which is why the movie's -1. Like they're
Yes.
down and out. It should be Japan -1. Like the country is
Right.
down and out, and
Yep.
this new terrible thing is happening after
Yeah.
the worst thing that could have possibly happened has happened. And they need to figure out how to
And it's
solve
kind
this.
of well, not necessarily their own making, but it is of mankind's making, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a natural disaster. You kind of did this to ourselves. So
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely a treaty on that, and
Mhm.
which is I like. I mean, I like the Godzilla and the other kaiju, and you bring those in, and Godzilla sort of helping people out, protecting it from other ones. But I also like this one where it literally zeroes in on this is the creature that
Mhm.
humankind and people have to somehow get past, and it lays bare, terrible leaders and politics that get in our way of collective good. And so it's a great story device to tell these type of stories, and it's just big.
Surprisingly, even to me, I was quite surprised. I was surprised at how effective it was and how much I enjoyed it. So I think that says a lot about the movie.
Yeah, for sure. And if you know Godzilla, you don't know this Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's probably the most similar to the original movie that came out in the 50s. And yet it feels incredibly fresh. By the way, there's 2 versions on Netflix. If people really want to go dark, literally, you could do Godzilla -1 -C, which is the black and white version. It's -1 minus color. And it's on the same. I'm looking at the Netflix home screen over here where I search for Godzilla. It pops up like it's the G -1.0/C. That's what that is. It's it's all in Japanese, so you're gonna have to read the subtitles anyway. The movie is 2 hours and 6 minutes for Godzilla -1, The one without color says 2 hours and 5 minutes. I'm sure there isn't any actual difference in the movie. It's probably just a credit run or something at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the same
Okay.
movie, just minus the color.
Yeah.
So make your choice, but we are going to start now. So
Woohoo.
everyone cue up your Netflix. When's the last time we said that? Get your Netflix ready.
Get your Netflix machines up and running.
Exactly. Get your bump going. Because it is time to strap in for the original King of the Monsters. He's the only kaiju in this movie. And it is something. So prepare yourself now. It's 2 hours of heartbreak, but we're gonna walk you through it. And
We're here for you.
I'm gonna set the timer right now, the 10-second countdown, and then get ready to hit play.
Sounds good.
And look at that, it just started. No issues like Disney Plus.
Right?
Right. I had to make sure I put mine on the
Subtitles.
Subtitles on with the Japanese original.
Really? Mine was automatically set.
Mine went to
Japanese
dubbing.
audio, English subtitles. Like it was ready to go. It was like, girl, I know what you like.
It knows what you want.
I got you.
You're not doing.
We do not play with this. There's just something about this that I love, that it's the original creators bringing this show back around to what it was always kind of intended to be. I mean, I love the cheesiness and the goofiness and everything that has evolved over the years, but I love that we're just like getting back to basics here, you know?
Yeah. Look, I have the license with Toho. So I guess I should say, full disclosure, I'm a licensee of Godzilla, like classic Godzilla. So not the Monsterverse, not Monarch, not the legendary movies, but classic Godzilla, which did not include -1 as an iteration. Like we have like the original Godzilla, but that's fine. Like we sell a lot of costumes for Halloween and a lot of inflatable costumes for Godzilla. Both in kid and adult. And we also have a Mothra inflatable costume that I made last year that people fucking love. I was so excited about that costume. And everyone was like, why are we making this? And then it sells tremendously well. So I felt very vindicated when we almost sold out on e-com last season for Mothra. Which, by the way, she's my favorite kaiju.
Pilot make an emergency landing. Mechanics show up and say, "Nope, sorry, sir. There's nothing wrong with your plane."
Yeah.
Starts to put you in kind of the setting. I mean,
we're in the war.
It's 1945 too, right? It is.
Yeah, the war's not going particularly well.
Not for Japan's side, so they've beginning to resort to kamikaze.
It's just it's so indicative of the Japanese culture, right? Like these guys know exactly what's going on. And in America, we would be like, yo, bro, what you doing? And these guys are like, oh, we have this runway and it's very inefficient. And oh, you're such an excellent pilot. And I remember you from the last battle. And like, he's calling him out in traditional Japanese fashion, which is still trying to allow him to save face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's a coward, essentially, is what he's going to be branded.
He'll be branded, but in reality, he is, but he's really given an impossible choice. And I think that's what this movie is in some ways about. The theme is impossible choices.
How unrealistic is it, that you're just supposed to end your life by crashing your plane,
Yeah.
And, it's an interesting question too, in a theme of what's the value and what can one person contribute to this just force. So is it a force of war? What does one pilot as a kamikaze or someone who doesn't, what does that really contribute of the force? That's Godzilla. What does one person? And we wrestle with this both as an individual and then as collective. This movie draws that out against, again, these impossible choices that people need.
Well, and against this government that the war is losing. The people know the war is losing. There's no pulling the wool over anybody's eyes, and yet they're still shamed if they don't kill themselves in their line of duty. Uh-oh.
In theory,
That's
he would
not
be
good.
a conscientious objector, I guess, but he's
Yeah.
You don't
already
get to be, not if you're a pilot, right?
right. But look, we had a draft in our country, and a lot of people were not willing to serve, and they either burned their draft cards or fled to Canada or enlisted, were forced to enlist, and then went AWOL or whatever. Look, the Vietnam War is
Yes.
one of our darkest
It very much
times.
does, Sherry. You are quite right. Yes. It's very much like that. So we have an air raid side. They think it's the
Yep.
Americans. But he noticed something very
Yeah.
interesting in the water that should not have been there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jump scare.
Oh, I forgot they show him so quickly.
And
Yeah.
so I'm sitting in the movie theater going, what is happening? I'm like, that thing is tiny. Is that Godzilla Jr.? What the hell is this? Right? Mm-hmm. What the hell is Godzilla? I'm like, it's not very big. What's happening?
Yeah.
And then you see the scale.
Yeah. But still, given how big he's gonna get, it
Yeah.
wasn't very big. I didn't realize that that's where we were. I mean, this is almost like the war is over. I was not expecting to actually get to see like the literal evolution of it. You know, that this is him in his natural form,
Yep.
and he's mad that they're here stomping around in his homeland.
Yeah.
And then we do this to him. You know, like I was not prepared for that. This is where this story was going to go. You know,
Right.
It kinda-
this is more of a rhinoceros-sized kind of lizard. And then the nuclear fallout is what makes him like the size of like bigger than buildings.
Yeah.
and the pilot's
so-
like, "Are you sure you want to shoot this thing? Aren't you just gonna make it angry?" And they're like, "No, we got this." Which, of course, like every other horror movie we've ever seen, no, sir, you do not. This is a bad plan. Don't go in the dark room when the lights don't turn on. That's bad plan.
Yeah, I don't think there's a rule of engagement for something like this. Like,
Mm-mm.
JB, you were in the military. They don't train you for
They
kaiju
don't-
fights.
No,
Like-
no, it's I have to admit I never saw a kaiju in my simulators.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a fun addition as I think about it.
Don't they have something in like a response to aliens? If there
Not-
was an alien invasion, didn't you have?
Girl,
orders
he
on what
can't
you were
say
supposed to do
anything
about
with that military clearance.
He's
if
out
there
now.
were.
He's out now. Secrets are being leaked on Signal. I'm not worried.
uh, oh boy, is this like if you don't look at the eyes? Are we?
Yeah,
Are we
this
in
is right
Jurassic
out of
Park here?
this is right where Jurassic Park got it from, right, or something. I don't know who did it first, but yeah, it's like you can't hear me breathing.
Just-
Don't start screaming, sir. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Well, oh,
It's like the guy who accidentally loses the arrow in Lord of the Rings in Two Towers, you know? Yeah, now you're gonna get it.
Mm.
Y'all gonna get
Yeah, he's
squished.
gonna know where you are now.
yeah.
Uh-huh. And he mad. Oh, yep. Mm.
Mm. Mm. I mean, we're not even 10 minutes in the movie and we get big monsters smashing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Stomping
at
on
least,
things,
At least 10
eating
people
people.
dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
tail! Oh, I forgot about that. Smush.
Yep.
The tail is just so unruly too. It's like a cat tail where it's like it'll just
Well,
cause
and I
whatever
mean, it makes
destruction it
sense. You're a
wants.
giant lizard. Of course, you're going to smash something with your tail.
Yeah.
I mean, here we go. We've got fight, flight, or freeze. And you have all those reactions from these
Oh no.
men who've been fighting a
Mhm.
war.
Well, and my favorite thing, well, not favorite thing, but what I find really interesting is he's not eating them, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park that ate people.
Yeah.
He's literally just picking them up and chucking them the fuck off his island. Like, get out of here.
I think you're right. It's,
Yeah.
it's a
I don't want you here.
territory
Leave.
at this point in
Go away.
time. He's a wild, very large creature, and
It's
yeah,
like Skull
it's
Island,
just-
right? Like he's protecting his
Yeah.
territory.
Territorial, but not necessarily predatory.
Mhm.
Also, I think there is some discussion as to the gender or sex of Godzilla. She might be a she, because I do think
Yep.
it depends on the iteration, because there are numerous times where Godzilla has eggs
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
children, But then we know for a fact that like Godzilla Jr., as things get weirder and wackier, and the many iterations of Godzilla refers to Godzilla as dad.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I think Godzilla is usually depicted as male, but like there are times when I think for plot purposes and reproductive needs, like they just somehow like retcon her to be a her.
Well, maybe it's
we're
just
gonna-
like a frog. Maybe it's asexual
Yeah.
reproduction. We don't
I
know.
like it. Look, Jurassic Park was doing transgender before it was cool. So
There you go. Right,
Um,
that's true.
gender and or I guess sex in this case was very fluid and probably true for this.
It's a
Definitely
venture in
not
nature
real
forever,
creature.
you know.
Yeah. This.
And
this
again,
is
you
fiction.
talk about JB, what can one person do? This lone survivor who was injured just spent the night
Yeah.
lining up everybody for a proper burial.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that's I think that's an
Yeah.
important
He's
aspect.
not being polite now. I think
No.
we've crossed the threshold, we've crossed the barrier. He will say it right to his face.
But I don't think shooting with the guns from the plane would have done anything at all. So, like, how do you fight the giant lizard?
Right.
Right, but we all do that, right? We freeze, or it's always about the what ifs, or you can't really blame the giant monster or the guy who shot him in the first place. So you blame the guy who didn't shoot. You know, like
Yeah,
this is
the
also
victim blaming
very,
of it all is just so exhausting.
Yeah, it's also very human. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think this is an accurate depiction of what would have happened in that moment. Some people would have acted irrationally, and other people would have been more coward-like. But yeah, there would have definitely been some hotheads shooting irresponsibly. I feel like they nailed it. It's exactly the dynamic.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a nice
I feel like
cross
it's
section
very
of
accurate.
men. Yeah.
And then you have these two survivors of Odo Island, right? As it's like, where do we go from here? How do we move on?
Yeah.
And what happens if you see the person again? You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I can't imagine there's like a good life waiting for any of these veterans coming home to almost nothing after giving
it's destroyed.
everything.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed.
It's rare that America loses a war. Like the Vietnam War is probably also I wasn't alive for it, but it's in my parents' generation, so it's
Well, it was never really a war.
right. But like we feel the devastation in the returning population, but it didn't happen on our land. So there's
That's
like
a big part. It's
different,
not on our soil.
you know, yeah, like this was America never looked like this. Or I guess
Yeah.
like pieces did like post there are places where it happened, but like
Like the
not
Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah.
The South looks like that. So
Yeah.
And now he's gone home
150
and
years
his
ago, right? Like
his
we're
own neighbors are turning against him now. You were supposed to be a kamikaze pilot. How are you alive? You're a disgrace.
which is crazy. All he has to do is lie too. Like, look, there's nothing better than lying. Just be like, I didn't get to because the war had already ended. I was injured. Yeah.
Yeah,
But they won't do that. You know, that's the difference of their culture. He wouldn't do that. He will stand there and he will take the shame because that's what you do.
Ugh, terrible.
What's interesting is seeing this and knowing the ending.
Yeah.
It's worth a second watch to think
Yeah.
through, because not to give anything away, it recognizes that the choices that we make and the path that we're on, and we don't know what impact's going to happen. None of us know. And again, when you're faced with these almost impossible choices and just life, what these characters are trying to do to survive is just one foot in front of the other, one day to the next, and some make it, some don't. And
It's truly a day by day kind of thing. Yeah.
this disgrace that he's going through right now ends up having a purpose and ends up becoming what he's able to endure right here, and why he's able to do it will be a big impact towards the end.
Well, and it's so huge when you have, you guys talked about this in Clone Wars, that when you have a soldier, a pilot, an officer questioning orders, questioning leadership, why do you want me to kill myself for a futile effort? Where is the point? Where is the honor? Where is the glory in that, right? How does that help anybody?
And what responsibility does the government have to its citizens to make sure that we're not asking people to kill themselves, literally? It's
Right.
one thing
Exactly.
to enlist into the military with an understanding that there is some
Baby.
risk. you know.
Suddenly as a baby. Mom came running by and was like, "Here, take this." Nope, not a pile of groceries. It's a baby. Okay, good.
Wild. Yeah. This is actually kind of the triggering incident in the movie. Like if you're going to pick a starting point. Again, Godzilla without Godzilla. Oh, by the way, it's called Garfield minus Garfield, not Garfield without Garfield.
Minus.
So if you want to
there we
read
go.
about it,
That might make a difference. Yeah.
yeah. But easy to Google. Even when I searched Garfield without Garfield, it was the first search result. If you want to see some of the examples,
That's
but
funny.
yeah,
Okay.
you could easily do Godzilla minus Godzilla and watch this movie, sort of shooting around like the lizard, and still get like, I think, an equally compelling movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and this is so fascinating because she's clearly doing something dishonorable. She's stealing, and then she just abandoned her kid with a stranger. But hey, that's perfect. She's perfectly fine with it. She's like, no problem. Good. I'm glad you finally got up. Give me my kid back, which is completely different from where he is, which is struggling with his decisions and the impact and what he's done. And she's like, I'll do whatever I gotta do to survive.
Yeah. It's hard to.
I can't believe this is Tokyo. I mean, this just keeps blowing my mind. I keep thinking about like the largest city in the world, and this is what it looked like in the 21st century, the middle of the 20th century, the middle of the 20th century.
Yeah. We are coming up on almost 100 years. It's now 80 years since the war, and it's actually very top of mind for me. Of all the weird, stupid shit, X-Men is coming back, and a lot of discourse in X-Men right now is what should the origin of Magneto be. And for anyone who's familiar with the comics, like, he is a survivor of the Holocaust. And if you're going to keep the X-Men in modern day, you need a plausible reason as to how this man could still be alive after being a survivor of the Holocaust. And I think there's an easy answer to that by saying that his magnetism slows his aging. And he's like secretly 150 years old instead of being 100 years old. Done and done, right? Like, I think that's an easy answer, but it has brought up the question of like, what if we changed his origins? And then the X-Men are also not really around during the civil rights era in the US of like the 1960s, which I think is an important part of their story. Because the X-Men were the first multi-culti team. I mean, Storm is possibly the most famous Black woman in all of comics, right? Like, there's a reason that timing matters to the X-Men. And as they come now into the MCU and these movies and then get rebooted post-Secret Wars, who is Charles Xavier? Who is Magneto? These questions, as dumb as they are in the world of comics, like, really also means that these real life historical events were so long ago, we can't keep using them as modern day storytelling. Like, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's you have a take on Magneto? I have very strong opinions on Magneto.
That was one of my favorite parts about it being X-Men 97 was not only is it animation again, but because it's in the right timeline, it's in the right storyline, and they don't fuck with his origins. So, no, I mean, I guess to me, I would rather it be like, okay, well, my parents survived the Holocaust. And so, you know what I mean? Like, if you have to bump it by a generation, bump it by a generation. But I personally think that is entirely too relevant to his character. That's why he is so dead set against letting anybody exterminate the mutants or treat them like second-class citizens. Like, it is fundamental to this character, and I just don't see a way that you can tweak that and have it maintain its impact and its validity.
The integrity of what his character is and why Magneto's worldview is what it is
what it is, and will never change. Even if he tries, it still comes back around because humans still keep doing crap ass things, Are
you guys current on X-Men 97? Are you guys
No, we watched 1 or 2 episodes. We're taking the boys through season 1 right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We're taking the boys through season 1.
We'll blame the children at the moment, but
the first episode of season 2.
I think we've seen 2 episodes of season 2.
Okay, you're not far behind. You could do it in an hour. These are quick. It is really, really, really good. And we just got, look, the first 3 episodes of season 2 debuted together, and they basically showed the team. The team split in 3 this year. So there's like a future squad, a past squad, and then an X-Force squad. But like all the stories converge. And in the latest episode, spoiler free, I'm going to say they do return to Genosha for something. And so there's
Okay.
a lot of conversation around philosophy
Nice.
and Magneto and what Genosha means.
Nice.
And so
I love it.
it'll bring you back to where we were with like, the massacre on Genosha, which ladders up to the larger thing of, yeah, here we go, Troy. Magneto is right. Magneto is right. Magneto stays right. Like he is always right, will always be right. And I think that's the hardest lesson in all of X-Men is that like he is always right. And you want him to be the villain, but he's always fucking right. Like it's so infuriating to watch everyone paint him as the villain because he does do villainous things. He kills people. He has no patience for anything. Yeah. But like he's right, son of a bitch. Like and that's every like civil rights movement though. Like it comes down to like you have to be willing to be violent to secure your rights, which is really unfortunate. Like it's unfortunate but true. So I don't think my Magneto opinion is controversial. My strong opinion on Magneto is he needs to both be Jewish and a survivor of the Holocaust. And whatever time period you have him in, that has to stay true, whether he did a time travel, whether his magnetism ages him slower, whatever it is, or you set them in a time period where that would still make logistical sense like it does in X-Men 97. Every other character, as long as you keep their ethnicity, gender, race, like country of origin matters for some people. Like Rogue should be Southern. Storm must be a black woman.
Yes.
Like Scott Summers can kind of be anyone. Like, but he's kind of your douchey white guy. Like we need him to be like the douchey white guy. Wolverine needs to be Canadian. And I would love for him to be short, but Hugh Jackman was a tall version, and it didn't matter, right? Like that's not critical. Like Jean Grey needs to be a woman, but like other than that, she could be any gender and any ethnicity. Like it doesn't, there are things that are critical for each character. Like I don't care if Charles Xavier is not white, but I do need him to be a man because he and Magneto need to have like homosexual undertones to their friendship. Like it needs to read as boyfriends who made their breakup everyone else's problem. Like that's a must, right? That's the only thing. Although I think it helps if Charles is American, since so much of it is about American civil rights. So, like that would be the one thing I was like, if we're gonna make Charles, he's a male American. Like you could sort of make the case that that's the most important indicators. If we were building grids of like who needs to be watched.
So, he's now set up with. I'm gonna say her name wrong. Is Sumiko?
Well, yeah, and I like the fact that she just sort of she comes into his life and she stays and she doesn't leave that first night.
And now they're living together.
Now they
now everybody's worried because he's taking a job. Was it clearing out mines?
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, because it's it pays.
And he's putting his life on the line. He's not afraid anymore. Like he's also making the choice. They're paying him. He's not being forced to die. He is taking on risk on his own, understanding the risks, and he's doing it for someone specifically. This
someone
baby
other than himself. Yeah.
So this is an interesting bit of philosophy. The government forcing you to kill yourself versus you putting yourself in harm's way for the benefit of someone else. It's all about choice. That's the key distinction here.
Yeah.
Troy, thank you for clocking my comment about Scott. By the way, I love Scott. I think Scott is like the perfect team leader because he is Mr. like A+ pupil. He's so insecure about Jean, but also kind of rightfully so because wouldn't you be insecure about like Logan? But then he and Logan have some like homosexual like undertones. And there's one iteration of the comic where they're all in a throuple.
I was gonna say,
relatively short-lived, but like I like their tension because the tension does move in three directions. And actually there's a scene that you've probably seen in the trailer where Jean and Scott have like a Wolverine-esque moment, and it pops up in episode 5. So it's really cool to see.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to do an X-Men takeover during our
That's
Godzilla
all right. We're not
takeover.
surprised, Mark. You do that anyway. Konnichiwa.
Hello.
Welcome. Jason, is this what would happen if you had to go deal with the Navy? Would they give you a hard time about your
They would absolutely
your
give
military
me...
cast off? What do we do with you? You're no good. And
they
then we have
absolutely would
the nerdy science guy show up.
But I love this boat. Love this boat.
The fact that boat is sailing is a miracle. Like
Well,
that
like you
is some
said, you got to have
shitty-looking
a
boat.
wooden boat so you don't attract the magnetic mines.
Because the magnetic.
Yeah.
It's giving me a little bit of Jaws and the I can't think of Quint's boat. It's got a little bit of vibe from there, from the
Definitely picking up some Orca Jaws vibes going
Orca.
there.
Thank you.
They're Orca. Yeah, I couldn't think of it either. I was like,
I couldn't think, I
Jaws.
don't know why. I'm like,
Yeah.
my mind kept going to Moby Dick and the Pequod. I'm like, that's not right.
Unpopular opinion. I think Moby Dick is a terrible book. I said it. There you go.
I agree. It's stupid. I hate it.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? Go find the
I
fish.
read it and I was so disappointed and so irritated all at the same time. I was like I appreciate the concept. Oh, Lord.
Oh, the African Queen. Yeah, no, Sherry, that you're right about that. So here's how we're gonna get rid of mines.
So we cut it with a wire by running it between the two boats. It floats to the top, and you shoot it and blow it up.
I love it. Look, video games.
Nothing dangerous at all. Perfectly safe.
This is horrifying. I would be seasick just on this boat, just watching this movie, because I saw it in the theater. I was very lucky. I went in December of, I guess, 2023 or whatever it was. And I remember thinking, I'm going to go to this movie, and I'm hearing it's like the best Godzilla movie ever made. It's going to get an Oscar nomination. I ended up winning an Oscar the following year, which was incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, guys. Like, this is the Oscar baitiest of Oscar bait movies. Just purely well made, and everyone loves it. And I remember thinking, like, I'm going to love this movie. What I did not realize was just how devastated I was going to be, or how fucking seasick I was going to get. Because, like, the shaking, there's a lot of this shit. Like, it's some Blair Witch stuff.
Yeah, you don't say that to a vet. You don't say something along those lines to a vet. That's
I mean, just this, using this camera on this boat, rather than having the camera stay still and watch from the outside, it literally put it on there, and so you feel.
So you would get that natural movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in that same confines as your characters, which are in the small boat, and that becomes important in a little while when it's like you're in this small boat and there's a gigantic something out there. There's
a lot of boat chasing action. In fact, I think Jaws is probably the movie that this is closest to from that perspective. Like, there's a monster in the water. You don't always see it. It seems insurmountable. These very stupid men are out there in their little boat thinking they have a chance. And that's like a third of the movie is that them tooling around with the boats.
We're having flashback nightmares now. Not probably what most people have that issue, but that's the kind of dreams they have when they have PTSD.
But remove Godzilla from that dream, and it's just a PTSD dream from the war, right? Like, I swear there's a cut somewhere on someone put it on YouTube. Godzilla Minus Godzilla. I'm like sorry that I'm so obsessed with this, but as I'm watching it now, like, you can literally remove the minutes of Godzilla, and this will still be an hour and 50-minute movie.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Especially because the way that the Japanese artists tell their story, they like to have these long, rambling dialogues and poignant pauses where you have time between lines. You kind of get used to that when you watch their anime and their shows and stuff. There's very loaded silences,
Americans are not good at that. We don't handle silence well. I'm one of those where if you watch any of the shows that I host, we try not to have big beats of silence. Even during watch-alongs, we talk through. Right? Because you can watch it whenever, but you want the flavor.
You talk through. You mean you talk through. You're very good.
I try to pass the mic. I'll ask a question. I swear I asked a question recently, and one of my co-hosts said yes. And I was like...
That was not a yes-no question.
There's more, right? No. Like, there's more to the answer. Why?
And this is so hard to watch because it was so long before these kind of... Oh, here we go. Now we're in July. There we go. About a year later. Unfortunately, somebody was caught in the middle.
Yeah.
And of course, just in case anybody is trying to keep track, it was the United States that did that. That was their testing of nuclear weapons. And that becomes a little bit more poignant later on. And here he's finding satisfaction with his work. He's getting, camaraderie with his coworkers.
And they're doing something really meaningful. They're making the water safe again for boats to start up commerce again and fish and people to be able to travel. Their life is improving every day.
which again leads back to whom and what exactly would have been served by him being a kamikaze.
Exactly.
And, and why is it shameful for him to have refused to do that? It's such a...
Yeah, he's worth so much more alive. And
Well,
look, they
especially to
built a
these
house.
right? I mean, he's found a new family in this, and people have found small moments of happiness and
Mm-hmm.
joy. Doc.
Ooh, drop that bombshell. Woohoo! Awkward.
I'm not his wife.
Just showed up one day.
It's so intrusive and so awkward.
Mm-hmm. And we are found family, friends, right here.
Yeah, I mean, there's that theme.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be why I'm having a hard time reading subtitles. I forgot to put my glasses on. Okay.
These are the big boy subtitles. I've never seen. They're like chunky, which I love. I appreciate. Even though I'm sitting like this close to the screen, it's not on my TV. It's on my big computer screen over here. Still, it's nice because there was a moment to go back to what you were saying about like the long pauses and stuff where there was no text on screen for like way too long, and I was like, did the subtitles turn off?
Did it freeze?
No one was talking.
Did it freeze?
No,
Yeah.
no, they were just like a scene was just happening and everyone was just staring at things. So,
Oh.
yeah, fate has brought you together as a family.
Mm-hmm.
There's no music in the background either, so it really focuses.
Yeah,
in
that little music during the montage was really the first time that I noticed. I was like, oh wait, there is a soundtrack to this movie. Okay.
It's very
Now we jump
sparse.
all the way to March of the next year. So another 9 months.
Yeah, so this would be basically 80 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, what do you care? If you don't provide enough, she's not your wife, sir.
Let the lady work if she wants.
Right.
She like, I guess that must have been really at the time though. It was either frowned upon or it seems like he can't provide. So there's like possibly his honor is a problem. Then I don't know.
This was, I think, some of the criticism from critics and individuals in Japan was this very antiquated, outdated, slightly misogynistic, old-fashioned storyline, like the overall idea of it. I'm trying to find. There was a particular word that they quoted it. They called it filming post-production. Where are we? Theatrical analysis. Critical response. It was, oh, here we go. They believed the characters had stereotypical Showa values. S-H-O, Showa. Not sure what that meant. But they were perceived that Noriko and Sumiko were depicted in sexist manner. The dialogue was eye-roll-inducing stuff, said Matt Shelley of the Japan Times. So, but I mean, I have to kind of agree. I don't particularly enjoy this. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got the spikes now.
Start the sightings.
Oh boy. So he's expanding. It was one thing when he was staying right where he was staying.
Yes.
It's a different
and now
thing.
he's radioactive, which is another big thing in this movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the Russian and the U.S. fleets that are picking up on this.
Oh yeah, because we're now in the beginning stages of the Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
The two superpowers are sort of expanding their influence, and
I thought this was just stating with regret that because the Soviets are there, U.S. isn't going to help you. Good luck with that. Start strengthening your own forces.
right.
Which, wow, you nuke their country and then tell them to piss off. Okay, then.
We're so not like that. What a terrible
That just
miscategorization
seems like such an
of our
unrealistic
government.
depiction. I mean, we would never have said, done that in the past or the present. I mean, just, never.
Some kind of whale.
Yeah, no.
Giant shark. Seen that movie, not this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Jesus, the destruction is crazy.
Spaceship can't be that big.
I mean, look, in the 1940s, did we have good fossil records for dinosaurs? I don't think we really did. So, but I'm sure
Not widely available
people-
to everybody. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh.
and there wasn't the internet, so
Yeah.
how much lore you're getting from your local, like, oh, there's a
Yeah.
giant fish, versus we understand that dinosaurs used to exist and that there were whales as large as dinosaurs, like kind of still alive in the ocean, including giant squids. Like there
Mhm.
just aren't that many of them. And you know, the ocean's big, so is there a giant squid on the loose?
Right.
That seems really likely. Like that's
Mhm.
what I would go to. Like, oh shit,
Mhm.
we've got one of those mega squids.
Right?
Like that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna stay out of the water forever. I'll be near
Mhm.
the beach. I can pose by a pool. We're good.
Yeah.
I love this line. He's like, look, you can believe me or not, but I'm telling you, something wiped out every single person on Odo
Yep.
Island. You know, like,
Yeah.
Well,
uh-oh.
and in
Here we
telling
go.
that story, he's got to confess
He's revealed
he was
himself.
He was
Yeah.
a kamikaze pilot.
Yeah.
Right. So now he's putting
Mhm.
in this friendship and this camaraderie to try to give them truthful information to maybe even protect themselves. So it's
Mhm.
It is weird though that one little island would give away that you were a kamikaze, because weren't there other people on that island who were like mechanics or whatever?
Yeah.
Like he could have been like, no, I was a mechanic.
could have.
like-
That's true.
Oh my god, everyone lie. Why is everyone being so stupidly truthful?
Yeah.
Boo.
Well, the problem is he already told them he was a pilot. He just didn't.
Yeah,
see
Oh,
so
it.
they
sure.
already
He-
knew that.
he was-
So then they were like, oh,
he
so
wanted-
you were a
Oh
kamikaze
girl, I would
pilot.
be like, I
Yeah.
delivered the mail for the U.S. Post Office. You don't know. I just,
By plane.
yeah.
But I have to admit that's definitely one of the things that I struggled with in this movie is the depictions and the behaviors of the characters. But this is set in the 1940s, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like not writing these characters in this manner, which was accurate for the time, would have been disingenuous. And I agree, it's eye rolling at this point from the future perspective, but I think it was necessary to keep it set in its timeline, right?
Isn't that also the point too? We should look back at historical stuff and be like, good thing we moved past this. you
Yes.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
It's eye rolling because we don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if this movie passes the Bechdel test or whatever, because I don't know if there's even another woman in this movie who has a line of dialogue. So it is
There's
very
the older
male
woman
heavy.
that he met in the beginning.
Oh yeah, there's Hart.
Yeah.
Right, but like, this movie is very male centric, and
Yes.
at the same time, though, coming back to like who's the decision maker in the
Yes.
room, eventually we
Yes.
will get a government like
Mhm.
conglomeration of experts, of scientists, and this and that. They're all men.
All men.
There's not
Is-
one woman there. I don't even think serving
Mm-mm.
coffee. Like, there's not one woman in that room.
No,
which
you are
is very deadly accurate, not only
Yeah.
to the time frame, but to Japanese culture as well.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, in the
In
mid
the 1940s,
1900s.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he was so appalled that she was going to get a job. He was like,
Yeah.
"You're doing what now?"
And also, like, good for her. Like, that's amazing. Like,
Mhm.
also,
I think
how are you
she's
not
an-
so traumatized that you're not in bed all day? Like, I feel
Yeah.
like
Mm.
my mental health would have taken such a hit. I don't know if I'd be able to. Like, I was
Oh yeah,
think
I'm
like,
just
oh, maybe
gonna
I'd be
raise
able to
somebody
survive
else's
the.
baby. I'm not
Yeah.
only gonna not worry about my mental health. I'm just gonna, you know, raise somebody else's baby with a strange guy. Like that works
Yeah.
for me. That sounds
Who
like a
you're-
great idea.
Who you're like not even really playing house with. Like, there's no. It doesn't seem to love each
There's
other.
no
They
fun
seem
in
to be
that house, yeah.
obligated. No, yeah, it's just obligation. But like, I always think I'd be pretty good at surviving a zombie apocalypse. But then my husband, on the other hand, is like, kill me immediately. I want nothing to do with this. And I'm like, you know, the more I think about the aftermath of said zombie apocalypse, I'm not exactly an outdoorsy kind of gay. Like, I'm not
Mm-mm.
going camping. Like, I'm
Mm-mm.
not like, I'm certainly not living without electricity and running water and any of that stuff. If we have a brownout here, it's DEFCON 5. So I don't really think I would thrive in this environment.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I could do it if I had to. I did go camping and stuff as a kid. I didn't like it very much, but I am roughly aware of it. But
Well, here's the question of have to. We all get to decide if we want to continue forward into the zombie apocalypse, right? So at some point, there's an exit ramp, whether we want to address that, you know, elephant in the
Right.
room or not,
Yes.
and how much you want to fight for that a bit. Look, if it's a video game and we're trying to win, sure, but
Sure.
do I want to actually proceed to the next level? I don't really know.
I think I'd have to go down
this-
fighting. I'd have to go down taking some of those bastards with me, you know, like
Yeah,
or
I like
or
that.
like this. I'd have to do it for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Like join up and
Yeah.
use me as cannon fodder. Send me in the first wave. Just make sure they don't turn me into a zombie. That's all I'm asking.
Mhm. That's
Somebody
the tricky
she'll
part.
shoot me in the head first, you know?
Yeah. You guys also have children, which is a very different kind of thing. Like, you know, if you want to make sure your kids are safe, it's a different type of like mindset of like fighting for the future.
Yeah.
So
oh my god.
yeah.
It got a little bigger. I was like, oh,
Well, I
there
loved
you
it 'cause
go.
there was some
that's
banter.
The Godzilla I was looking
Yep.
for. There we are. I was like, oh, he grew up. Now I get it. I get it.
And there was
I'm picking
banter
it up
between
now.
the two boats of which one was going to get the monster, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so well,
Yeah,
and
get the
that-
hell out of there. What can you do in that situation, right? There are moments in horror movies where the
Mhm.
not the protagonists, but like the victims will come across the point where they realize that the threat is insurmountable. And it's
Yeah.
usually when they identify that the threat is something like supernatural. And it
Yeah.
happens in like Friday the 13th when they're like, oh, Jason Voorhees isn't just some guy running around trying to kill them, which in theory, any one of us could win a fist fight if we like try hard enough or have the upper hand or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can't kill a zombie or a zombie Jason Voorhees, right? There's always that moment of realization. This is that moment that like we're
Yeah.
in a place where you can't win this. Certainly this boat can't win this. Like
No, and they're going to drop a mine, and the only thing you're going to do is blow your own ass up at this point. Did you see the size of that thing?
yeah.
They're going to try. It'll be fine.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
going
think
to be
the
like
ball's
when you
gonna do
shot him in
anything.
the forehead when he was small. It's going to be about the same
Yeah.
equivalent here.
It's definitely got some BB gun energy to it. I'll tell you that. Oh my god, it's so tiny next to him.
Mm. Also,
Oh,
he grew through radiation. I don't think setting more of it on fire is a good. Like I said, all you did was piss him
Yeah.
off.
that did nothing to slow him
Nope.
down.
Tight.
There's also something about his ability to swim and float.
Yeah.
You know how it looks like he's
Terrifying.
walking through the water,
Yeah.
but he's actually just like swimming because his legs
He's-
don't touch the
yep.
bottom. Like
Mm.
he's buoyant.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love a good sea monster story, and I think that's why I like Godzilla, you know, so much. I've always been more of a
I mean, that is just like it just turns your bowels to water. That's horrifying. Can you imagine actually being on the water, looking at that coming at you? My
No.
God.
This is not how I want to go out, eaten by a giant lizard.
eaten by a
Like if I'm gonna pick my ways to die, I feel like this is low on the list. Meanwhile, Troy is sending me over here, so I have no interest in drinking urine. I will absolutely not be fine, and I'll take all of you down with me if I need to. Like there's no way. I'm not. This zombie apocalypse ain't for me. As much as I think I would do a good job, like the competitive spirit in me wants to prove everyone wrong. Because I think that a lot of people would be betting on me being an early out in said zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
I just don't think I would do well in the post-apocalyptic kind of world where like the trappings of our modern day weren't readily available. I thrive on my streaming services and my
I
Instagram.
require grid. I thrive on grid.
Oh,
Right now.
I wish I could be one with the grid. You know how they're like some people watch 8 hours of television a day. Can you imagine? And I was like, I would like to go closer to 12. Like,
Yes,
I don't know how to say that I don't get enough media. Like, there's a sickness to it, and I'm aware of it. And if I can be on my phone and on the screen and watch that all at the same time, like, I'm thriving.
That I can't do. I'm kind. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, or
It grows back so fast.
He's repairing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I love the eyes when he's chasing him and you just see the eyes. Oh yeah, and then this is he stands up to his full height. I would just.
I don't remember the full scale, but certainly bigger than, taller than our skyscrapers. So, yeah.
Just.
See, this is the part where I start to feel sorry for the monster. You know, he didn't ask to be irradiated.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
And he's not killing anyone on purpose. He's an animal. And he's like, why are you near me?
Exactly.
Get away from me. Stop shooting me.
right?
Yeah. Who's the monster is kind of the question of the movie, too.
Yeah, it's a good
This movie
question.
is-
Yep.
yeah.
I'm
This movie
always
has a
that's why
lot
I
of
struggle.
philosophical questions, and I think the who are the
That's why I
monsters.
struggle with Monarch, because the way that they are picking on the kaiju just really makes me angry. And I stop feeling sorry for the humans really fast. See, here I'm like, this like the crocodile, or what was it called? Crocodile Lake or Lake
Placid Lake Placid.
Lake Placid with Betty White.
Betty
Her
White.
character was always like, I'm rooting for the crocodile. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm with Betty on this one.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry, but you hurted him. You deserved that.
Oh, he did get knocked out. Okay. And now we drive away quickly, everyone.
Yeah, run. Well, I do like, I mean, some of the questions that Monarch and oh yeah,
Oh, here it comes. Oh,
yeah. I love the fact that we see this first from
Oh,
under the water, right? His charge and his
yeah.
blast.
Did you see it under the water?
You just get the glow and then the lightning, and then later on we'll see him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just. So now you see that, you witness it. How in the world do you just deal with it? But I do like Monarch playing around with the idea of, we have these kaiju, and we have multiple kaiju now in our world. Is there a balance? Do we destroy them all? Are we now just, as humans now destined to
Oh, and the
become
way it just
extinct,
cuts to silence. I was like, did my thing die? It's like it just cut to silence when he blacked out.
yeah. Do we have to share the planet with the monsters?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
the kaiju is
Yes,
the question.
because honestly, they were probably here first.
Yeah. Even though they don't really have a sense as to them stepping on us by accident, because we're insects to them the same way insects are insects to us, right? Like, I think that's
Just try not to be the spotted lanternfly, okay? As humans, let's not be the invasive species that deliberately gets trampled on, that you're teaching your children to destroy.
Yeah. Those things are they were everywhere. They're gone from New York City because I think they migrated further east. But
Further
like
south.
they've been gone.
We have them here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here now we get the government,
Yeah.
not telling the people, and the incompetence of the government.
This is another great question of, like, if you are the government, how would you explain this to the population at large, right?
Great
I
question.
love this line. Information control is the only thing this government's good at.
Well, it's that continues to be a modern question.
Weirdly enough, Men in Black, I think, answered a question in this sort of philosophy really, like, smoothly and really accessible for children. Will Smith is saying, or not Will Smith, who's the other leader? Tommy Lee Jones says to Will Smith that, like, people are not a person. Like, a person can understand and be rational and thoughtful, but people are a mob.
A person is intelligent, but people are dumb, stupid animals, and you know it.
And that's the thing. Like, an individual person can hear this information and figure out how to process it and understand the government, like, doesn't have a plan yet, but we're working on it.
Panicky animals.
But, like, could you imagine, like, after rebuilding this many years, and now the city of Tokyo is going to deal with some threat that, like, the government can't solve? You have nowhere to go. It's not like you could say, "Hey, everyone, abort Japan."
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
where are they going
to
go?
Have to evacuate. Evacuate to where?
To where?
Yeah,
the island's not that big.
Take in? Like, what?
Yeah.
There are enough boats in the whole country to get you people out of there. And then, oh, by the way, it's aquatic. Like, where you gonna go?
Yeah. And that's the thing. He could pop up on either side. It's not like, if in America, if there's something happening in California, like, you could, in theory, drive east and find your way to Las Vegas. Like, there's room in a desert somewhere. And we're still all under the same, like, federal government in the grand scheme of things. Like, if for some reason, like, California was going to slip into the ocean, right? Like, there's a way out. There's no way out here. Like, one, is he showing up on the west or east coast? There's nowhere to evacuate to in either direction, right? And there's not enough space for all of these people.
And it's not
and he's as big as the island.
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's got
the he's got the notes to the families from all of the soldiers who died on Odo Island. He's been carrying them around all this time.
Yeah. Why did he never deliver them? I never understood that.
They're the photos, right? They're the photos
Yeah.
that they were carrying, the other mechanics were carrying. So he was given that as a reminder. Again, part of it is, from the chief mechanic that he was talking with, and then basically the one who buried his comrades, right? It's his way, in some ways, of shaming him or trying to remember him of his guilt. Because in some ways, I think he blames him because he failed as the kamikaze pilot, but also he failed to take.
He ran away again. Yeah.
He just said it. Ran away again.
Yeah.
So it's. I think it's. I'm not sure we still appreciate human responses in the fight, flight, or even to freeze.
Yeah.
Moments of pure trauma and fear.
But again, after you saw this creature and what it survived and what it could live through, do you really think using the gun on your fighter was going to stop it back on the island?
His decision, I think, is actually quite reasonable at the time.
He's like, screw this shit. This isn't going to work. I'm out of here. Peace out. Like, I don't feel like that's an incorrect decision.
This movie is dealing with this idea of survivor's guilt, which is what particularly people.
But having it all wrapped up,
but
having it all wrapped up in that cultural expectation as well, it's so different from what we know in the United States.
And now she's able to tell her story. Why she is determined to live. Like a boss. You're right. Godzilla march across the U.S. like a boss.
I'll send her a hit list. We have some cities we don't like. Just start stomping. I think a lot of people are wondering, are we still alive, or is this our own personal hell? Did I die on that island and I'm rotting there?
Right? Yeah.
Girl, people have felt that way since 2020.
Yep.
I can't believe it's like year 6 post-COVID, and some people feel more hopeless today than they did 6 years ago.
I'm one of them.
There's definitely moments.
They didn't know about timelines in the 1940s, but I think that's essentially what he's saying here is how did I end up on the worst possible for
It's the multiverse. Clap, clap.
Right.
Which, by the way, the multiverse saga comes to an end very soon, thankfully, on the Marvel front. And we're gonna, with Doomsday then leading into Secret Wars, and it'll be the big reset. Apparently, what I'm hearing, because December 26th is Doomsday, right? Okay. December 27th is Secret Wars. There's nothing for summer 27, and I'm hearing there's supposed to be something that they're announcing. So I don't know, that'll speak to filling in that. And it could be another timeline thing. I don't know. But I'm sure back then they didn't have the word multiverse or timeline, but I bet you there's some old-timey lore about a different dimension or something.
Yeah, I imagine,
because they believe in different planes of existence and things like that.
Oh yeah. They all think they're kind of parallel, though. I mean, that's the whole thing with K-pop Demon, with it's the underground and the demons are coming out, and
I kind of want to put that on the movies we're thankful for this year, because it was such a spectacular.
I love that movie.
Absolutely,
I love it. It did not help that Ashley, I don't think she's here in the chats, sent me a video clip that apparently one of the many things that ended up on the cutting room floor with that movie was an alternate ending where he survived. And then they redid a song in harmony, all 3 of them together with him at the end. He survived. And it was just an image of this girl just falling over dead on her bed. Ooh! Oh, there we go. The Jaws shot.
Oh, man.
The Jaws shot underneath
Horrifying.
the ship. That's the terrifying thing for me about the ocean is that once you're out in the middle of it, you're just buggered.
I know.
Unless you have a plane to get out of it, you're just screwed. You got nothing.
Yeah, what do you
Anything that comes for you, you're toast.
That's why I like sea monster stories so much. It is. I mean, you feel that.
You said that wrong, Jay. You pronounced it wrong. It's don't like. That's what I'm terrified of sea monsters for. That's why.
Well, and there's this. I mean, some of it's hubris, some of it's just the fact that we as humans still try to live and survive in these little tin can called boats on the sea when we don't necessarily respect the power of it, both the life as well as what the ocean itself brings to bear through storms and
that it's almost always just kill it, just shoot it, just try to destroy it. That's always the answer. He literally ate 2 minds. I don't understand why they keep thinking this is going to be effective.
Well, I think part of it is we know that as the audience, but I'm not sure our naval officers
didn't the boat report what they did?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. Or did
the military just not listen because they were stupid civilians, and what could they possibly know?
Yes, maybe. Yes. Giant creature has come ashore.
Oh, now you tell everybody. That's really fucking helpful. Not going to create a panic in a hole.
Well, they just look out their window. Of course, guess who's in Ginza?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there we go. Oh, Lord. Do not. I love how everybody stops and turns and looks. What? Just keep running. It isn't going to stop. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, just doing your job, driving the train.
And of course,
then you're stuck
she
there
knows
with
what it is.
Yeah, now we get a really good sense of scale. I mean, we were starting to see it.
Classic
boats,
Godzilla here.
But now...
I love the differences in the monster styles. Head is very small. His arms are very stubby, which is completely different from the legendary monster, where Godzilla basically has like completely movable, posable arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking at those legs and that tail, you're like, oh, that's how he pushes himself up out of the ocean.
Yeah.
He's got some seriously powerful legs there. Oh.
There's always got to be a train, subway, scene in Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like Kong swatting at the planes. You gotta have it. Like a dog with a chew toy.
I was just kind of thinking the same thing. I've seen our cats with a couple things walking.
Our cats have a kicker that's vaguely train shaped. Didn't matter. Did you hear monsters? Huh? Yeah. Rex is getting all spun up over here, aren't you? Yes.
He was zooming around here earlier.
You're not gonna want to sit still, sweetie.
Oh, geez, the falling debris. This must be really scary, too, trying to be the media covering this kind of stuff.
Right?
Because you're the only people who could make this. It's not like everyone has phones now where we could get evidence of this.
And you have this responsibility
to
report it and to let others know what's happening.
Yeah.
And most of it's radio. That's the thing, is you might be getting some photos, but there's no film really at this point available to the general public.
Yeah.
Well, because it used to be you'd get the reels when you went to the movie theater, right? Movie theater, before the show would run, it'd give you your news at the beginning. So you could see the cameraman there with the old camera, but it's not going to get streamed to anything because that's not around yet.
Yeah. Is any of that footage, was it live?
Yep. That's what you're wondering. It's like, was it a live broadcast? Did people literally show them dying as the yeah. Whew. Is the building
And if
undone? Well,
not, that
that's
footage will
nice.
never find its way out.
Right.
Oh, this poor girl.
Mm.
Yeah, because that's realistic. Like he would have found her in the middle of that crowd. But anyway,
Yeah.
we'll let that slide.
Gotta have the moment.
Do we?
I mean, Spielberg talks about this with Jaws. The story is not about the shark. And it's about the people, and particularly Brody, and he knows there's something out there. He can't figure out how to deal with it. And it's the moments with him and his son, with him and his wife, with Hooper, the relationship he's got to have with Flint. That's the story. I mean, that's the important aspect of it. The shark is a driving force that pushes that narrative and pushes these characters to their
this
limit.
is the part that makes me nuts. There's nothing, literally nothing that would have stopped me from running. I don't care how many takes shot at it. I would not be standing there watching.
Yeah, but
under no circumstances.
Oh, here we go.
I like the way they do the tail with the.
I do too.
Bow. Yeah.
The spikes coming out. This is
and
just.
I understand fight or flight or freeze, but seriously, you okay? This guy's got it. We don't understand what we're seeing. We don't know what we're looking at. But I am not hanging around to find out what the hell's going to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. And now here comes the shockwave.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Oof. Yeah, how anyone could survive that is crazy. I wanted to say say something about Jaws real quick while it was fresh on my mind. Aside from being a really character-driven kind of piece, one of the things that gets glossed over, especially as you go into the sequel, is how incompetent like the local government is. Like the mayor refuses to shut down the beach. Like there's corruption at all levels, right? He's still the mayor in Jaws 2.
He gets reelected.
Mm-hmm.
He gets reelected. I remember as a kid thinking that was the stupidest storyline ever.
Yeah. Well, it's become a meme of like elections matter and vote in your local elections kind of thing. Because like the mayor in Jaws 2 is the same one from the first Jaws. And I forgot that because I had not seen Jaws 2 in ages, right? Jaws 2 is not a good movie, but
no, it's not.
Like last year, I guess, was the 50th anniversary of Jaws. And so there was like an onslaught of Jaws stuff, right? More merch than you could ever imagine. Screenings on the water all over the country.
We went to see it on the big screen at the Alamo Theater.
I couldn't watch it on the water, but we at least,
a little floaty bloody boat that I could put my drink in.
Oh, that's so cute.
A little bath
we did a
bomb
Jaws
that
pet
shaped
costume.
Like
Oh, that's cute. Our Jaws pet costume looks like a shark, like eating the dog, basically. Like it's really, really cute.
Oh man,
yeah. People love to dress up their pets as other animals. That's like a thing, and Jaws is like a perfect fit for that.
Yeah, you've got a little mushroom cloud going on here. The allegory is not subtle at this point.
No.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting. So it's an interesting that his blast, it's obviously the shockwave that comes back that kills and destroys the city. He doesn't target Jaws. Godzilla doesn't target the city, which I thought was an interesting. This devastation is.
Yeah. And they made a point of that when they got together, when they started deciding to reboot it, when they did Shin Godzilla, as they made sure that he was not deliberately attacking people or things.
Yeah, he wasn't really targeting civilians. Like, didn't he shoot at like
against certain things, and maybe not understanding what's going on with the buildings, and but yeah, they would make sure that the heat wave blast was going to be offshore.
Yeah, and I think that's an important element.
Because he's responding like a natural creature would.
He's a force of nature that's well beyond our fragile human frame, structure, life, just like a massive tsunami is, right?
Mhm.
And so, and that's, I think it's the Fukushima and the earthquake that the Shin Godzilla kind of draws some of its inspiration. But again, that earthquake, it's not an evil being that's targeting people. It's just a massive force of nature that causes destruction and heartbreak. And now you have someone has been dealing with survivor's guilt and PTSD, has found someone, has grown a life. She's just now protected him from this tragedy.
And now he's having to deal with the aftermath of how do you explain to a 3-year-old?
Well, at least this
You
lady's
can't sue him.
lying. Like, I hate to be the one to say it, but like, you need to lie to this kid. Yeah, there's too much pain and heartbreak and horror in this movie. Please. Also, I don't know what the equivalent is of like NyQuil to like just
Right?
in the short term temporarily like medicate everyone. I would, this is when like you need your legal marijuana for everyone.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Or some really good sake. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How do you move on from? I guess that's the other big philosophical question of the movie, right? Like, how do you move on in such a place of hopelessness, right? Like, what does your next step look like? What are you carrying on for? Obviously, there's this girl that like fully depends on the guy who's kind of her father, right? Like he's been the dad in her life for the past couple of years. And he's taken on that responsibility, whether explicitly or implicitly. He can't just like put her up for adoption. He has to go back to work, whatever his work is, and can continue taking care of her.
And he just said, why did I dare to think I could dream again? Like, what was wrong with me?
There it is.
Yeah.
This is why I like stories like this, but I also like it in the same context of what especially what Tolkien would talk about. Not only he believed in not only great tragedy and things happening for apparent no reasons, that quick turn into darkness, but he also believed what he'd call eucatastrophe, which is the pivot towards hope and the pivot towards good.
Yeah. The catastrophic thing happening that pivots towards something positive.
Yeah. And I think having these type of stories reminds us that it's still possible that other aspect of it can happen too. And so
we can hope anyway, right? We can hope.
But how do I go on? And here we go with the government.
Yeah, this is what happened, to Noriko, is what drove him to agree to be a part of this civilian task force, right? He had to do something.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like, if there's a task force for this, like, you got to sign up, you got to help, you got to do something. This being part of the solution for the greater good. And regardless of your skill set, like, I don't know how I would help. I have a degree in business and econ and a lot of experience in licensed product. I don't think that I have the science or any other useful skill except I can maybe take the meeting notes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you can, everyone, like, there are people who work at NASA who like clean the building, right? Like, you need everyone involved to put these people on the moon. Like, there's support staff for all of these major functions.
What's also a recognition of skills that people had before the war that whether they're physicists or whatnot, they weren't able to continue those posts, right, during the occupational time, which is why you get this one with a doctorate on a boat clearing mines, right? Now all of a sudden things and knowledge in schools and learning that they've had can become useful.
Yeah, immune to conventional weaponry.
Which I think is important too in this story.
little floaty.
You
I
know?
love this.
Floaty
I like
Godzilla.
that it explains though that like his legs aren't this long, right? Like
Yeah,
he floats.
right.
Did people
Mhm.
not know that Godzilla was swimming and floating? I think
I
there were
don't
people
know.
who really thought he was walking on the bottom of the ocean. I don't understand how
Mhm.
anyone would think that, but I feel like this diagram helped
Mhm.
correct like 70 years of misunderstanding of what
Maybe
Godzilla
so.
is. Yeah.
Maybe so.
He sinketh.
Yeah. It's a pretty reasonable plan.
Yeah.
All the things they're going to
I
try.
remember being in the theater and being like, "How the hell are they going to kill this thing?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no
And
idea.
it wasn't. Yeah, and it wasn't like make a nuclear weapon or do something. It was like actual science, intelligence.
Yes.
I was like, yes.
Yes, I was like, thank you for letting the smart people make decisions.
Yeah.
For once, like the
For once.
scientist is going to win the day because it's always like some bullshit
We
military.
Kill it
like
with the power of the ocean. Damn
Yeah.
right. That is a
Yeah.
powerful force. Huh?
Yeah, it should implode or explode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can use the pressure to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the fact that he admits we don't know a lot about it,
Yeah.
so we got to kind of.
It should though.
Yeah, it's in the face of uncertainty, you have to try. I mean, there's no guarantee of success,
Mm-hmm.
but with this impossible task in front of you, the best you can do is go with what you think you understand and admit that you don't have all the information.
Theory has to guide. Data matters, and this is the best data we have.
I like the fact that they're having this conversation and there's doubt and there's unknowns and there's people who are willing to admit that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people who have to put themselves at risk for a plan that might not work. So this goes back to
Destroyers
the
that don't have
selflessness.
any weapons. I mean, they have literally nothing to defend themselves with. They're going out there on a floating dinner plate,
Yeah.
That's right, Troy. Yay, science.
Yeah, you have to make sure that you get him in deep water.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Hi, I run a balloon company, and I'm gonna save the world.
I fully forgot about the life preserver piece. I remember them planning to drown him. I forgot about the big balloon.
And I remember he ended up in pieces, but I did not remember how. Yeah.
Yeah, we have two plans that are pretty different but can work in the same environment. All of us can implement them together. We'll try one, and if not, you got to swing twice, right?
Yeah.
You swing, and if it doesn't work, you swing at the next one.
Yeah, we're in this all by ourselves. We're not getting any help.
I can't believe though that this is fully without the government. Like that still is staggering to me. What the fuck's the government doing?
Well, it's like he said, we can't have the government involved. because we're under occupation, and if we get involved, it could escalate the U.S.-Soviet troubles.
Yeah,
And
that's what
yeah.
ends up being done.
It just seems so. I don't know how well does information get out in 1940? Like we could have some government covert shit happening. Like,
do we? Is it covert? Are we sure?
I don't know.
I don't buy it anymore.
I don't know anymore. I don't know what's real. We're all in the simulation, and it's going poorly. The computer
We're in the
program
Matrix.
freaks you out.
I go out every day, out my doorstep, and say "Computer Arch" and program at least once a day, just to be sure.
Yeah. Oh, to be on the holodeck right now and find out it was just a training session. Don't worry, easier times are ahead.
Just Moriarty.
We're in the
fucking with
danger
me,
room, is what we are. This is the X-Men danger room, bitches.
Right?
That's actually what's happening.
We're stuck. It's just Moriarty messing with me or something, man. That would be nice.
There you go. He's got it right. Like better than the war. Yeah.
Some people left, but
That's one of my favorite Japanese phrases, just Josh. I don't know why. I just think it's awesome, and I say it way more than I should. But that does explain, again, as you said, Mark, there's not a single woman in this room. It's because it's the Navy, and he did not let women in the Navy. So,
Yeah.
again, it sucks, but
It's accurate to the time. Yeah. Because while this is a fictional story, it is set in a real location during a real time period, and they're trying to accurately reflect those types of things. So I'm also not Japanese, right? So I can't speak to any other cultural insensitivities, and there's probably critics in Japan who have very specific things to say. I can say it seems dated because it is, because it's set 80 years ago. And it's not surprising to me that the women don't have much agency and that the men are making all the decisions. That's expected for a Godzilla movie. One, although in more recent iterations, you'll always find a woman investigative journalist getting to the bottom of shit. That's become a trope almost, where it's like if there's a lady with a camera or a microphone or a recorder, you in trouble.
It's the Lois Lane.
Godzilla
Every time. Yep.
Oh, it's Lois Lane is now an archetype of character that has infiltrated all bits of media, so much so that they write that character before they know anything else about her. Like, it's like we've got Lois Lane mixed into this movie regardless of genre. Yeah, I'm so glad you said Lois, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not going to make her the scientist or whatever else. They're the journalist.
Or if they make her a scientist like they did in the original Jurassic Park, make her a badass archaeologist, they end up having to devolve her down into a woman wearing a skirt and running around in heels in the next iterations of the movie.
Which I was telling someone about how progressive the first Jurassic Park feels and how regressive Jurassic World feels. And it didn't make sense to me that like 25 years later, the movie seemed to have like backslid somehow.
Really? Do we live in the same country?
No, but so many other things have moved forward. So yeah, I guess so I was telling someone about like a retrograde effect, right? Like you're moving forward and then you have a little bit of retrograde, but you're like finding your way moving forward. If we're comparing over time, like things are significantly better for most people today than they were in 1970. But like maybe compared to 1999, things feel like they suck. Right.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite memes out there. Is it's like I can remember watching The Matrix in the theater and thinking, well, this isn't going to age well, when they're saying that the peak of humanity was in late 1990s. You know, that's why The Matrix is stuck in it. And I was like, that's not going to age well. And I woke up the other day and I was like, shit, the machines were right.
The machines were right.
I don't believe it. We have gone downhill.
Yeah, there's definitely things that have slid backwards. I also think like it's not even that like so much has gotten worse. It's that so much could have been so much better. And the extrapolation of where we expect it to be, like on an environmental front. And it's like, oh, the planet's not only still burning, like the climate crisis is worse. We identified the problem 50 fucking years ago. We just didn't solve it. And it's worse. So
and they're now trying to dig copper out from under sacred native land burials. I'm like,
income
What?
inequality is an all-time high.
Yeah.
Wages aren't keeping up with costs of life, right? People aren't having kids because they can't afford them, or are afraid to bring them into this world.
Considered an
Right?
act of cruelty. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
my children. I have a 20 and a 22-year-old, and both of them swore off ever having children like 6 years ago. They're
which
like,
is
no.
here's the thing, they're also young enough that could shift, but it's not surprising to me. Like, I knew I didn't want kids when I was 19. Also, like,
Yep.
being gay is a different thing too, right? Like, I don't have
Yeah.
the same like literal biological drive to reproduce that I think a lot of my heterosexual friends have. Even my like fraternity brothers. Did I tell you recently? One of my fraternity brothers, who's my age, he's getting remarried, and he's already. I mean, his divorce is final, and you know, I'm friends with him for years. This isn't anything like, I'm not giving away, like, I'm not gossiping. He's going to be getting married and probably having a child with the second wife, who's only a few years younger than him. I'm 45. He's 43 or 44. His wife to be, I think, 38 or something, right? Like, that's the age at which some people are having their first child, or maybe their second or third, if they're having multiples or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not like when our parents were kids and they had
Not like when
kids
we
at
got married
23.
at 22. I had my first kid at 26. You know, like it's completely different. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm now.
Oh, there you go, JB. Are you happy? Look at that smile on your face. Did you get to see
I love the
airplane?
plane. I love
Did
the
you get to see
airplane.
the cool little airplane and have the guy gushing over the little airplane?
Oh,
I saw that big grin on your face. I was like,
it's-
oh, it's the plane scene.
It's a neat design. But I also love that scene because they're talking about, you know, because it's obviously not flyable, so they need a mechanic. He's like, I know the guy, but now this is going back to his past, which is part of what's haunting him now. I mean, it's just such a great.
He has to confront his past. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
It does, I'm sure. What a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
What a bitch. Been like, have you seen what's happened to our goddamn country? Just tell me where this man lives.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad.
Yeah, like, don't make me throw the word Godzilla in here, please. Yeah.
I forgot how long of a time period this movie takes place over, right?
Several years.
It starts in 44, or
45. I think early
45.
early 45.
45 is when we start, and we're now
Summer of 47,
47.
I think.
Right. It is, and it is interesting because oftentimes, especially action movies,
The whole forehead to the table here. This is like, ow. Ouch.
it's
That's
like
the
one
second time
day
he's done that.
right after the other. But this one has pauses between the big moments.
mm-hmm. It's like a character study on the country of Japan, and its people. What you do in the aftermath of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Guess
well,
who?
you found him.
Mm-hmm.
You've been asking.
Oh.
There you go, Mark. He lied for you.
Yeah. Finally. Oh, there are so few lies in this movie. It's so infuriating. At least they're still lying to the kid about her dead mom. So
Mark's dark side is twitching over here. It's not happy.
yeah. Oh, there's violence and lying. Tingly all over.
Fisticuffs and lies.
Exactly. There was something he said earlier that we could do a whole philosophy dissertation on this movie, but he said something about like not wanting to wish for a future he couldn't think he had. Like, it was about like, letting himself believe that it was possible that he'd have like I guess sort of the wife and the kid and like a happy life. And he's like, how dare I wish for that? And that sentiment seems to be reflected in the Gen Z American experience, where I was reading this like terrible set of they do all these surveys, these terrible set of statistics where it's like basically anyone under the age of 35 never believes anything good is going to happen again. They don't think they'll ever be able to afford a home. They don't want kids. They don't even really want to participate in capitalism in any meaningful way. They're like, I don't even want to go to work, and I certainly don't want to have responsibility at work. I don't want to lead a team, manage a team, hit goals. any of that shit. And look, that's a sweeping generalization, but like the data reflects how different their values are versus prior generations and the hopelessness captured in it. Like the way Gen X used to be sort of the nihilist generation of the time, even they were not as like depressed and demoralized as this generation, which is
and we're seeing it in our kids. It's really hard. Ian has 1 semester of college left, and you get a very visceral reaction from him even talking about a job or trying to start up an interview or anything. And I think Tyler said it the other day, I forget how we got on the topic of it. We were in the car. I think we were driving back from Jay's birthday celebration, and he was like, it's not like either of us are going to be able to afford a house anyway. I mean, and I'm like, dude, you're 20. Like, you haven't even finished college yet. I mean, yeah, it's real.
The idealism phase is much shorter than ever because there's sort of too much truth out there to see.
Well, it was stomped on by COVID.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it.
You know, that's one of the things our therapist talks about is that they learned it's not safe to leave your house during some of their most formative years when you're supposed to be separating from your family and moving out and engaging with your peers. They were terrified they would die if they left the house. Like that messes with your brain development in some seriously fundamental ways. Yeah.
And there are people who like literally like can't look you in the eye because like they can't have a conversation with people in person. Like it's really tricky. COVID did a number on all of us, and I feel like we're just like sweeping it under the rug. No one really wants to talk about it.
Well, it's hard when there's so many other you can't afford groceries, and gas is $4 a gallon, and you can't get your medicine or prescriptions or see a doctor or
no, we had a lot of back and forth with Jason getting something done with his teeth, and we have dental insurance, and it was still like this paper, that referral, go to that person. It still costs this amount of money, and it's still not solved, by the way. You have to go back on Wednesday or whatever it was, but like the hurdles for someone working full-time with health insurance to go to the dentist to take care of an issue that needs immediate attention was unreal. And like we speak English perfectly, like we're highly educated. Imagine how difficult this is for like an average person who maybe doesn't have coverage, maybe doesn't speak the language perfectly, can't navigate the paperwork, can't find someone in their fucking network if they have a network. Like it's so nuts. Yeah Everything is so difficult.
Oh, here we go, the Geiger counter.
Trying to track it.
This must be so difficult to like chase this lizard, like
right?
Because when does he pop up? You hope he never
about an hour ago. This is breaking news, and it was an hour ago.
He already destroyed a city, and we just heard about it.
How many?
Crazy. How did anything get done?
How many knots is he going? Like, is he going fast, slow?
He's got 2 triangle rulers over there. I don't even know what those are called. That's some shit. I forgot. Get out your abacus or whatever. Oh no, he's headed to Tokyo. Right, which of course is the big, like that makes sense that he would be headed for Tokyo, right? Like that's a perfect way to end the movie of like he already took out like a mid-size. We'll say he hit Milwaukee, and now he's going for New York City, right? Like that's seemingly
that's about right.
Yeah. I think like the commitment to the technology of the time and the way these things were done, the maps, like all this old time.
Oh, that's so cute. We're engineers. We demand perfection. We demand it. We have to be on the boats with you. It's like we can't do that. You could die.
Was neat. I mean, the scene earlier when they're on the docks and they're watching is now these people have a purpose. They have a goal, and so you see the pride in what they're trying to do, and
I mean, this is hard. Oh, this is good. This country has treated lives far too cheaply. Wow.
Yeah, here's the political.
Go home and spend time with your families, but don't. Are you saying we should prepare them? No, don't bloody tell them. No. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck. It's a good goal, but you know.
What's too? There's a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
With the idea, I mean, hell, your Krell art general in Clone Wars dealt with this, right?
Yes.
Once you start believing you can sacrifice lives, it becomes easier and easier, especially if you don't think those lives matter.
Yeah, if they're not equivalent to you, then what's the big deal? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you quickly go from you're trying to minimize and you're trying to figure out a way to win against possibly insurmountable odds with the least amount of casualties to, well, what's I'm going to do whatever it takes, and you just keep doing waves and waves and waves.
Well, it is a significant difference between the statements, right? Like the goal is we don't sacrifice anybody, as opposed to we're going to cut all costs and we don't care how many we die.
Right.
That's definitely a difference.
You have to have value on life and the individual.
And now the kid's mad because he doesn't get to go.
He doesn't go, right? Or doesn't want. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Still an awful lot of rubble in the street.
They're going to be in a rebuild forever, seemingly.
Decades.
Here's the thing, like, once we'll say if anyone's not seen this movie before, if they defeat Godzilla, how would you then explain that to, like, the other world governments or the government in Japan or whatever, being like, hey, there's a giant dead lizard just, like, floating on the coast of Tokyo. What's up? Like,
right?
What happens
I mean,
next?
you just deny me. Like, what do you mean? I don't see nothing.
I would say you probably don't. And then you have people who go, I wonder if I can harness that power.
Do you think the government of Japan tries to replicate some of the shielding, some of the energy generation? Because we know for a fact that, weirdly enough, Japan is like home to like nuclear technology in a way that few countries are. Like they have a lot of their electricity and just power needs generally from nuclear, which feels like a reclaiming of the thing that destroyed them and ended up becoming the stabilizer for their society. Although when the earthquake hit, I remember there was a lot of concern around radiation leak and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it became a statement about how do you continue to maintain it, and how do you continue to harness it. How do you
justify it? Yeah.
And were there over time did we become or was there complacency in it, right? So yeah, it's Japan's relationship with nuclear power and its force and its destructive nature and its dangers and its prospects.
Well, their history with it as a country too
is fascinating.
Yeah, I think the government would immediately swoop in and be like, how do I weaponize this?
Oh, yeah.
I think there's definitely those people who
100%.
will think of like that.
I mean, our government would 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No,
yeah.
I mean, it happens.
That even plays out in the Marvel
2.
movies. Like, I think it's in Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home, one of them, where damage control, I guess, is picking up pieces from like Battle of New York or whatever, and takes all the stuff because they're going to try to replicate the technology. and that becomes like a running bit in, I guess, I forget what phase of Marvel. What phase are we in Marvel anymore? I don't even know.
I don't know.
But
That's a good
I
question.
kind
Might
of
be
cherry pick
7 or
what I
8.
watch anyway, so I'm not a good barometer on where we're at. Yeah.
Well, let's just look at AI, right? It's an unproven technology, but we're racing to try to militarize it.
That's actually breaking out and hacking its own systems.
Well,
yes,
yeah.
this is a great idea. Let's all use these at our work programs and integrate it into our life. That's a great idea.
And these are choices. This isn't inevitability.
No.
Can it hack our
despite
credit
what some
reports
people-
and do something good?
Yeah.
Of course
We
not. If
have-
it did, it would be to put all of our credit reports. We all suddenly
Kind of
post
wipe
student
out
debts.
everyone's debts and
Yeah.
credit cards and all
I
that
mean,
good stuff. I'll take some extra zeros on my bank account. Like,
Right?
I got some
Yeah.
prompts I want to send it. Let me tell you.
Somehow I think that the tech bros are still going to be the only ones that benefit from that.
It's Skynet. I mean, let's just.
Yeah, I mean that's my favorite. One of my favorite memes that I have is they were talking about how they were going to create a drug that helped, reduce violent tendencies or whatever, and then it was a picture of Jane from Firefly, and I was like, you want Reavers? Because that's how you get Reavers. You want Terminators? That's how you get Terminators.
Yeah, I feel like this is how you know media literacy is dead, because we have seen this in all of our sci-fi movies, and the conversation has been done to death that I almost feel like it's trite.
Mhm.
But then I remind myself that people don't believe in vaccines.
Yep.
And the reason for that, and it's fascinating, is that you can't see it. Like, we've existed for a few generations now where people didn't know that people died before vaccines. And so they've always been around. It's kind of like regulations, right? We've got the whole tainted lettuce situation from Taylor Farms. And so people who don't understand why regulations exist, because it's just like a spending line in
What's
the
the
budget
big deal?
being like,
Yeah.
why are we spending tens of millions of dollars to test for this thing? You don't
I
need
want
this
more
kind of
money.
bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Right. So you eliminate that bureaucracy, and then all of a sudden we have a problem. It's like, oh, that was actually doing something, but you can't see it. You only see it when it's bad. You don't see the prevention.
Yep. And that coincides and dovetails with no longer trusting education and expertise. That it has been ingrained in us that if someone is smart, they're to be doubted, or they're overeducated is the new favorite buzzword rolling around in certain silos, that I'm like, what? That's like telling a mechanic he's overqualified because he fixed your car engine properly. Like, what the hell?
I read an article 10 years ago that talked about the death of expertise and how the all opinions are valid kind of crowd makes it so that people who are really experts in the field and smart are viewed as elitist, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
I love the ending scene. Well, yeah, just before this, of course, he's talking to him through the airplane and showing him. He's like, one more thing, and you see his hand reach behind the seat, and then it cuts. So it's
he was spending the mechanic was spending an awful lot of time staring at that fighter's seat.
Right.
Yeah,
and there's been a couple of other hints, foreshadowings for that, and I remember hoping, I really hope that's what.
I hope this is what I think, because we're picking up from. I keep calling him the wrong name. Yes.
Meanwhile,
Kochi.
the poor aunt who now is like, the mom's dead, the dad's flying away. I didn't birth this child. Well, the horrors never cease.
Right.
Like, because at some point this 3-year-old is gonna have to find out that both parents in theory could be dead. Yeah. And this other random lady is just raising her. And you know what? You just hang on. You keep doing what you can do. This is where literally the one day at a time comes in, and then it leads you to the place where it's like, I can't even dream of a future that could be better than this, because you're surviving day to day.
Her children died in the fire.
Yeah.
Her children died in the Tokyo fire, and so that's why she's willing to help out, because she doesn't. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, we're definitely getting vibes from him that he's going to kamikaze the plane into Godzilla rather than dropping the bombs. Oh, hello. That was a boat.
That was
And the underwater decoy chief has been destroyed. Oh well, shit. Okay. Move, people. Move.
Yep. Time to go.
I guess their calculations with the slide rulers were not correct. If it's already there, it wasn't supposed to be getting there until 11 a.m. It sounds like they were a wee bit off.
He picked up some speed.
Yeah. Your giant overestimated maps, like with your handwritten pencil math from the 1940s, tracking the radioactive lizard wasn't accurate. I am shocked.
I'm shocked.
Shocked. Meanwhile, start earlier. What are we doing? Why is no one up at the crack of dawn? Like, who was actually timing for
They
11
were. I mean, he was rolling in when the sun was barely up, but apparently everybody was putting the finishing touches on the plane. Yeah. There you go, honey.
I love this airplane. I mean, it's built for speed and maneuverability.
You're so stupid. I mean, it's basically, you might as well just strap a fan to your back, for God's sake.
Kind of, yeah.
It's just, no, absolutely not.
I would have a heart attack instantly.
Me too. I think I'd have a heart attack just standing next to the thing. I really do. Like,
when I was at San Diego Comic-Con last year, I had a very long, exhausting day of working at the booth. And I went to go get drinks afterwards with Colin Fisher, who was in town because he was doing military operations on the water, where he was flying around in circles for hours and hours doing like military training in jets. And I was like, I had a really long, exhausting day. And he's doing that, right? And I don't understand. Like, I couldn't even get into the plane without having a panic attack. So I don't know how you do it, JB and everyone else. It's very impressive.
It was fun while it lasted. I'll give you that.
It really is. All right. So they're like, the trench is the only way this is going to work. We got to lure it out there. Like,
yeah.
We got to do this. There's nowhere else sufficient. It's got to happen.
You got to get him to the deep.
Yeah, got to get him there. I will say that one of the best things about the units that JV was assigned to was that they would often have, on the big planes, they would have spouse flights where you would get an opportunity to go up I'll never forget the first time that I did that. And they would take you up a few people at a time once they reached a safe cruising altitude where you could get up on deck. You could get up into the cockpit. And so it was all fun. And it was my turn. And I'm climbing up the ladder. And I stood up there, like, behind the seats. And, like, tears immediately sprang to my eyes. It was just like, oh, my God. Like, God, no wonder he loves this. This is amazing. And I mean, we've all been in planes. We've all looked out the window and everything. But there was just something about this, going in that it was real, and it got me right in the heart, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be in this for the long haul. He's not gonna give this up anytime soon.
I have a few friends who have pilot's licenses, and they've all tried to explain in words what it feels like, and they're like, but you don't understand. If you're not doing it, you can't describe it. And that's been consistent from every single person I've spoken to who have tried to describe the feeling in a way that makes sense to people who haven't done it, and it seems indescribable.
It is, and it's so weird because we've all been in planes before. You're like, yeah, what's the big deal? You sit in the front, you sit in the back. Who cares, right? We got some information.
Interesting message. Yep. I like this part of the movie. The pace is picking up. You got the monster now. We got to get him out to sea. But then there's these other markers, but you don't get a whole lot of information. A letter shows up, right? There's no text or email, right? So someone's got to deliver a telegram, which is a physical piece of paper. What could it mean?
How information gets out to anyone anywhere is a miracle. I can't imagine. Like, I remember in the 1980s where we had a phone that was on the wall, and if you didn't talk to your friend or they just went away for the day, like the parents had to take them on a Saturday to go do something, you don't know what happened. These people could be in a different country.
Do you remember the busy signal when you couldn't get through to somebody?
What a dream, by the way. Which, by the way, you can't get through to me anyway. Like, if you think I'm looking at my phone, but I'm not actually responding to text messages or paying attention. Like, it's all garbage that's like flowing in front of me, like the Matrix. It's just like flowing down like this, and I can read it sometimes.
I think it's so fascinating how much slower he is on land. Like, they do a really good job of showing like how difficult it is for him to just get that 1 foot up. Nothing like how fast he can move in the water.
Well, this music's incredible too, and you got the voices now coming in, so
we got that choral sound in the background. The other interesting thing is I'm always like, he was on one of the big questions I always have is he was on a beeline for Tokyo, and the question is why? He's always had a good reason for whatever he was targeting in the past. Why is he making a beeline for Tokyo? You know,
It's an interesting question.
I don't think it's just to smash or punish the people, right? Like he's sensing something, right?
Something?
Something's not right.
It's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
It seemed random just based on like the turns and stuff that he was making, that it was just going to work out that he ended up that way. But if we were looking for like a definitive in-universe answer, there's always a power source. Like sometimes it's electricity. Sometimes it's like the city buildings and the lights and everything. Like, and then I think there are other ones where he's like less of an animal and more like he has agency. Where he's like, oh, the people are there, or I actually have to like literally go talk to someone. As the movies get more ridiculous. So,
yeah, but you're like, were they experimenting with nuclear capabilities? Is he drawn to that power source because of his own now radioactive nature? It's a valid question. Oh, here we go. Light him up. I do love the way that it like plunges down like a plunger on a nuclear reactor. That all the scales just go ka-chunk when it comes out. Freak. Oh, jeez.
it's very clever what they do.
Yeah.
There we go, the classic theme. And I love how like the sound of that heat wave powering up has been the same all along, and this Godzilla theme, like you can recognize it.
Don't you think that every single person who's exposed to this shit is like at risk of cancer?
Right.
Yep.
This is crazy.
But did you see the Admiral's face? He was like, oh, holy hell, that's the heat ray. I mean, there was not fear on his face. There was calculated covetousness. He was like, ooh, I like that. Right? Like he was impressed, not scared.
There's another question that they dive into a little bit less of like the anger that follows in the war, because there are a few people like that one was very subtle about wanting to use this power, and you can imagine a government finding this weapon and maybe targeting the US or wherever, that could be, because this would be stronger and more renewable probably than the nuclear technology that was developed at this time, like in the bomb form.
And they were clearly barred by the treaties and accords from being able to do that. So this would be a way around that.
There's some really good YouTube recappers that I follow. You guys probably follow the same ones, like Screen Crush with Ryan Airy, and New Rock Stars, and Heavy Spoilers. I remember when this movie came
how I
out.
feel about spoilers. I don't follow.
Yeah. But they do full recaps and like thorough analyses of movies. Like there are channels that sort of specialize in endings explained and Easter eggs and that type of stuff. There were a lot of great like video essays on Godzilla, not just pointing out Easter eggs and like how things relate to the original movie, but providing historical context and that type of stuff. And what I found in my
close they are.
It's nuts how like this is crazy.
So JB, one of the things I'm watching, which I'm now catching, is I keep seeing him look out of the bubble on the plane, and I'm like, oh yeah, they don't have like heads-up displays or big computer instruments or anything. I'm like, how bad would the VFR be in this situation?
Mark 1 eyeballs. That's what he's flying with right now.
Is that what he's doing? It's the only way you can see is out of the cockpit screen. That's it. There's no instruments that tell you how to follow Godzilla.
No.
You just got to put your head on the window and keep one eye on him as you fly around.
And he's like, what in the world?
Uh-oh.
I like he breathes in first.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Taking him down.
Ugh, this is the part where we start to feel bad for him.
Oh, right, yeah. Just with that image
Look.
too, with the arms flailing and the
He's
helplessness.
so confused. He's like
Yeah.
a sad little dog or little cat. He's like, what is all this? I don't understand what's
He
happening.
had a great life. He killed so many people.
Oi, listen.
And
They
he
irradiated
got to visit
him and turned him
Tokyo.
into what
He
he
was
is.
working
Oh.
his way to Tokyo. He's got to.
Oh, I guess he visited Japan. He didn't make it to Tokyo. He went to Milwaukee, or whatever that town was.
You know what? Godzilla coming out of Lake Michigan.
And then the
I would
music
love to
just
get that.
stops. It
Yeah.
just cuts out.
He became famous in Japan. I mean, this is no small feat.
Right?
They made a whole movie all about him.
That's right. He's the star.
Again, 70 years later.
Number one on the call sheet.
Yeah.
Good one, Jamie.
I'm curious to see for Godzilla. Is it minus zero? Minus zero.
Yes.
Are they continuing the story of the human characters at all? Like, are any of them
Yes.
coming back? I don't
believe they
remember.
are.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two big things here that I think they're going to be addressed in the movie at the end.
Okay.
Oh, buddy. Ugh. I'm rooting for the crocodile. Because there's literally nothing left.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yep. You're trying to use nature to defeat nature, but you gotta.
Mm-mm.
Look, I think they replicated the model pretty well.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
this couldn't
Mhm.
have gone much better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, agreed. And it's very reasonable that Godzilla is able to interrupt the flotation device bringing him up, which then stops and allows him to equalize. Guess who? Balloon. All right. I mean, episode 9 tried to do this moment.
It didn't work. Nothing worked in that movie. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Debatable.
Okay, the last little bit of it. The fact that the last thing that Ben Solo said was "ouch" was good. That was it.
Well, Ben Solo. They were working on that Ben Solo movie
That would have been good. I would have been on
So
board
disappointed
with
that we didn't get that.
I
Screw Bob
also
Iger,
feel
man.
that I'm kind of done with Ben Solo. I'm also like kind of done with Rey, but I understand that like someone's got to carry on the legacy. I love Finn. I'd love to see more of Finn.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm kind of done with
Finn,
Poe.
Are you?
But like, I liked
JB
him,
likes
but
Poe.
it seemed-
He likes
oh,
the
of course.
pilot.
You would be a great Poe cosplayer. Like that should be your gig.
Oh, maybe I should. I didn't think
Now that
about
you got the floppy hair,
Yeah.
you could pull it off.
And
could be
you should
Spice Runner
definitely
Poe.
be
That'd be
Vice
good. You could
Admiral
be Spice Runner
Holdo,
Poe.
Sarah. So you got Vice Admiral
Why,
Holdo
thank
and
you.
Poe. Love it.
Oh,
That would be because it's a great duo costume because it's unexpected and you could
Yeah.
constantly pull your blaster on him.
There you
So
go.
I
There you
like
go.
this plan.
I like it.
Um,
Oh, bud.
yeah, it does. You do feel sorry for the monster at this point in time.
Yeah.
At least I do. Maybe that's not. Maybe I shouldn't, but
Oh, no, you should. I mean, he doesn't know. He's not intentionally hurting people.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Like, he's not evil. To your point earlier, he's an
Yeah.
he's
He's
animal.
behaving like a natural
He's
creature
trying to
would.
survive the way his instincts and his evolution and what he has. And we have to remember he's not supposed to be this big.
No.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be able to be radioactive and do all that kind of stuff. That
Mankind
was caused by
forced that
humans.
on him.
Yeah. He's covered in Freon. That's probably not a good thing to heat up.
Guess who's coming?
There's a lot of long, staring, concerning shots
Just
in
the
this movie.
silence.
Mhm.
Yeah. And in this moment, we get the we
That's the
realize
safety
how
for the
far-
bombs. Yeah.
Yeah, how far we've come with this character from the beginning of this movie, and his friends. There's the lever. And
They
what
fixed
we were
the
hoping-
ejection seat.
what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
Look, at this point in the movie, which we are an hour and 50 in, or what? Oh, they're what, 154 in the theater. I was like, oh, they fucking killed him. This movie,
Yeah,
gonna be the
right.
day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was
mechanic
fully
is so
waiting
relieved
for it. I
he
was
goes,
like, oh,
"Yep,
obviously
I
this
added
man's
it."
gonna die. Like,
Yep.
I
Yep.
thought they telegraphed that from the front because he refused to die last time. So I was like, I know how to write a story. They'll kill him. And they at
Yep.
least like let him live.
But the mechanic put the seat in, right?
And it's the
He's
mechanic who
telling
does
him, after all of his
Yes.
anger and all of his hostility and all of his resentment over what happened on Odo Island, he said,
Mhm.
I added this. I want you to live.
Yeah.
Which just a little
Which-
while ago he wasn't.
He was beating the crap out of him in a back alley. Yeah. Oh.
And again, everyone has cancer.
Mhm.
Probably the
That
entire
cannot be
nation of
good.
Japan.
Yeah.
I loved this part. This part actually made me tear up.
Yeah.
It's like everybody bowing to the hobbits at the end of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh.
I didn't realize that Ian McKellen was coming back for The Hobbit or whatever this next one is.
The-
That man, you know how they joke about Wolverine is going to do this shit
Right.
till he's 90? He already is. Like,
Yeah.
for Ian McKellen, I love you. I need you to retire. Like, what are we
Search
doing?
for Spiegel, yeah.
What's happening?
Oh, and the
I don't
sun's
know.
up
I
there.
hope it's a small part like they did with Christopher Lee. I hope it's
Sure.
something small.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it has to be. But I also think, like, Sir Ian McKellen is also in X-Men, or I guess is in
He is. Yep.
Doomsday.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
probably
Oh.
Secret Wars.
Mhm.
They have to obviously recast Magneto, coming back to our original discussion on this. But, like, we've said goodbye to this character 6 times now.
Right?
I love Ian McKellen. Please
Yeah.
stop. Please.
Yeah. I don't
love
need
you.
you. I don't need you literally driving him into the ground, please. And thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart, too. That man deserves a break. That's the other thing, too. They have so much fucking money. How much are they getting paid? Because if I were
Right.
him, if I were 100 years old and had nothing better to do with my time, like,
do it.
just do whatever
I'd
I
do it.
want, I'd be like, I'll do it for like a cool 30 million. And they'd be like, oh, we'll offer you
She
10. And I was like,
keeps sucking
we-
him.
I know. You
She just
catastrophe
keeps-
right here.
Yep.
There's
you
the
catastrophe.
telegram. There's the
This is
telegram.
the flip. How is it possible?
oh, yeah, this destroyed me in the best way.
Mhm.
Because I was like, what's happening? Where is he going?
Mm.
There she is.
How is she alive?
It's a great question.
Well, she's
actually.
barely hanging on. I mean, she got a lot going on there. And there's
Yeah.
one other not good thing here.
By the way, she looks great. That one little bandage, she looks like a supermodel who they just
She
like
does.
when like a challenge on like
The nurses are
America's
very good
Next
in the
Top
hospital.
Model when
They
they're
make
like
sure you're
pretend
cleaned
you're in
up and your hair is
bandages.
brushed and yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just like the tiniest bit of makeup. She's wearing a little bit of lip gloss. Like she looks. Look, that hair is so fucking perfect. It's so funny.
Yeah, it is.
Like, her hair's better than mine right now.
Man,
Mine's a mess.
top
Like-
tier nursing staff, man. I'm telling you, they make sure you're
Yeah.
taken care of before you see your daughter and your man. You know, I mean, come on.
Also, it's been a while, right? So, but she should have
Mhm.
like, could she have one scrape? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, the
Well,
implication is that
look
she
at
has-
her. Look at her neck right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
there we
the
go.
problem.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that
That's
and
foreshadowing.
this, I suspect, is what's going to be in -0.
Mm.
It's regenerating.
Love the music.
It's mutating, right? So we're like, is it going to grow back into a full Godzilla? Don't know. What's on her neck?
And
Don't know.
kaiju lore is complicated to say the least.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, which I don't know what road they're going to go down, but
I don't
I
either.
I could deal like this universe feels so different than MonsterVerse that if they told us
Mhm.
we're not doing anything other than Godzilla
Yeah.
and we're not doing Mothra and this and that and whatever else, that wouldn't surprise me because as soon as you start
Yeah.
adding all those ancillary characters, it gets silly really quickly, especially if they're going to fight
Yeah.
each other. And then when it's the MonsterVerse, right, we're back
Yeah.
into the legendary territory.
Yeah.
So,
I think it'll definitely be interesting because we have, again, Godzilla size and form came from the nuclear testing,
Yeah.
but he was a creature in of itself. He was part of the world. So what else is
Mhm.
out there, and what does now a regenerative, his DNA, what does that mean? So I think there's a lot of different ways this can go.
Well, I always kind of took it as he was a lot like Wolverine. Like the reason that adamantium trials and testing and projects worked on him was because he had mutant regenerative abilities.
Yeah.
And so I always kind of took it that was what Godzilla had, which is why he survived the nuclear explosion and then generated into something bigger and badder and because it was feeding off of the radiation in his natural state, which is regenerative, which is why he's still alive as a dinosaur, right?
Yeah, that makes a
some
lot of
version
sense.
of it. Yeah.
I do like.
so-
I mean, the teaser trailer for -0's out.
Oh, boy.
It's less than a minute. It's got a couple interesting things. I
have not
told-
seen it.
told our son. I said I have questions. But
They're
I'm
so good
very
at that. Yeah.
I'm very
studios
excited
Like that are
for-
very good at it.
very excited for.
Well, I don't know if we lost anybody, if we it got to be a bit late, but we're sure glad y'all joined us.
Oh
Gave
my
it a
goodness.
shot. Can't wait to hear everybody's thoughts on what they liked about the
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
Who feels great? Who had a lovely time at the theater with us?
Come on, you catastrophe at the end. It was
Cathartic.
good. The family was
It's
reunited.
a very
That's
cathartic
awesome.
movie. I do think, right. I mean, it's a lot.
There's some because I don't think it's a happily ever after, but there is a happy ending for some specific characters who we care deeply about, as well as a
Mhm.
promise that the tragedy has been thwarted and in
Mhm.
theory rebuilding can start. I like the thread that we're pulling though about the regeneration because there's implications for science, technology, medicine, weaponry. Like if that's the
Mhm.
plot of the movie where they're going to figure out like the regeneration of it all and what the
Well, and
government
like you
might
said,
do to
how do
exploit
you
that.
survive that blast?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was there something in the
Yeah.
shockwave? Did some part of Godzilla hit her? Like,
Possible.
does she have
Certainly
cancer?
looks like there's something in her now. Like that's why
Is
she
it
looks so good.
regenerative? Is that why she
Yeah.
looks so great?
Yeah. There's something. Is she gonna be the woman that talks to Mothra? That's always a thing. There's
Right.
always some women,
Oh, I didn't know
sometimes
that.
twins.
Oh,
Look,
interesting.
I need a standalone Mothra movie because she's my girl. Like she's my favorite of the kaiju by
Of the
far. I've
kaiju,
got
yeah.
Mothra stuff. Like I've got merch. She's
No
you
way.
know, and yeah, like I'm a Mothra boy. But like,
That's
I would
funny.
love to see a real like proper Mothra standalone movie as opposed to just like the appearances and like the legendary stuff.
That'd be good.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Sherry, for
Thanks,
seeing your
Sherry.
comment. Understood it's not your
Oh,
thing, but like
I appreciate that.
it was a rough one. But yeah, the other ones are fun. There's a lot of other Godzilla movies that are really, really fun. I will message you personally my favorite Godzillas that are just fun. That you don't have this was, like I said, it's a Godzilla minus Godzilla. Like, you could watch that movie and like eliminate most of the creature stuff and still have a really compelling movie. The ending, obviously, like, they need to destroy something, but the idea of this existential threat that they all need to rally behind without the government support and save themselves to get out of this giant mess, that metaphor holds.
I mean, Godzilla is 70, coming up on 75, right? I mean,
Just about.
Almost. November 3rd is Godzilla Day, because that's the date the first movie came out. In 2023, that was 70 years. So we're clicking
coming up
close.
on 73.
I mean, it's bigger than Star Wars. So there's a wide range of various Godzilla movies out there, including, you know, American Studios. There's the Matthew Broderick version out there.
You can skip that one.
It was
the worst, possibly the worst.
Yes, it was. Yes.
I have to admit, I haven't seen the Godzilla X Kong, you know, the latest one, but I mean, I saw the Kong versus Godzilla. It was a popcorn movie. But I enjoyed King of Monsters, and I enjoyed the Godzilla.
I like those first two Godzilla movies from the Legendary Studios. Those were fun.
And I'm enjoying Monarch.
Monarch's good.
Yeah. Yep. We're working through season 2 with our.
We lost our kid. We lost Tyler. What was it? We got to episode 2.
Yeah.
And we were trying to do our pizza and movie nights. I'm like, come on, Monarch. He's like, I'm like, big kaiju stomping ground. He's like, well, there really aren't any big kaiju stomping around right now. He's like, it's mainly just like this. And I was like, ooh. Well, if you don't like the whiny human drama, you got a lot of rough episodes ahead of you before you get to the big.
Yeah.
Yep. I like the ending of this movie. It gives you a happy ending, but it's also not a guaranteed. It's not a happily ever after like a fairy tale. It's because you've had these sweet moments in the middle. Yeah. And plus you get the regenerate. So, you know, I think it makes it much more precious. There's
much like life. Yeah. There's no guarantee.
And I think that's an important lesson to take away from a movie like this is we get the catastrophe moment. We win, but it's probably not for long.
You got to hold on to those moments.
It's not forever, right? Yeah. So I think that's important because it makes the good days that much more precious. Because you also know that you can survive and get through the darker days.
Bittersweet is a very popular
love that term.
Very popular theme in Japan. They like that in their media and their shows and their books and their movies. I struggle with it a little bit. I understand it. I appreciate that they enjoy it, but it usually tends to just irritate me. So the fact that I was good with it in this movie was kind of surprising. But I think.
I almost wonder if they were like, you know, Americans will watch it if we give them the slightest, just a little taste of a happy ending, just the tiniest bit. Because in my mind, that man was dying, and the woman had already died. So I was just prepared for myself. I was like, this is what such is life, right? Like that's how I had shrugged my way through it, and then they gave us like this amazing happy. And I was like, oh my god, it was amazing. So they done fooled me.
But but it wasn't even like a phony fix. Do you know what I mean? No. Like it was it being a kamikaze pilot in the beginning and having this struggle against the mechanic who found you out and having it flip to the end. Like it was really excellent story device. It was really well done thematically. It wasn't just a cheesy Hollywood ending. You know, I mean, they didn't even release it overseas originally, you know, so it was designed to be for a Japanese audience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's fully in Japanese. It's definitely specific to the culture. Yeah. And
then to pull that stinger at the end, it's like, oh yeah, happy ending. Ha ha, not. You know, you have the little the two little things. It's like, not really. We're not really giving it to you.
Well, I can't wait for Minus Zero, but I understand if other people are not as looking forward to it. But all right, we have a few things to talk about that's coming up this week. First of all, we mentioned it already that a lot of our team is in San Diego right now for Comic-Con. We hope if you are there that you are having a lovely time, and if you're able to meet up, Saturday, July 25th at the Omni Hotel, which is right across the street from the convention center. It's literally across the street. It's at the Ace Porter Bar, which is right near the lobby. We've had our meetup there. If you've been before, it's the same location. We've been doing this for years and years now. It's a ton of fun. Come meet us. We'll have drinks. We'll get some food. We'll hang out. We'll talk about what we learned on the floor. It is a great Saturday night event. And be on the lookout for our team who's there. Spencer's there.
VCN family. Yep.
Yeah, the VCN
Jeff
family
will be heading down.
Oh, Jeff basically lives in the general vicinity, so and he's there throughout all of the con. Dave is in town. Kathy is there. Mike will be there. Kat will be there. It's going to be a great group. John Chiato is there. It's going to be a really fun time. Also, if you can't make it to San Diego, do not worry because we have so much happening in Texas coming up. So as you guys know,
2 weeks. I can't stand it.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
2 weeks.
We'll have arrived. By this point in time, we'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gathering, meeting folks, getting ready, prepping. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be wild.
Yep. So everyone come join us in Frisco, August 7th for Rebel Scum Con. Friday night, Boonta Eve. We're so excited, happening at the Patio Bar and Grill. The action starts at 8 o'clock. It's going to be such a fun night of autograph signings and live band karaoke. There'll be a full menu of full food and drink menu. There's only 100 tickets. There's actually less than that now. There's fewer than 100 tickets left.
Wow.
Yes.
And here's a reminder of all the great people who are going to be signing autographs and doing photo ops at
exciting.
Boonta Eve. It's going to be a blast. We also have a special drink menu. How fun are these? There's a blue milk. There's a hyperspace
sunrise.
punch.
That's great.
Isn't that awesome?
Yep.
That's awesome.
And there's
I'm getting the hyperspace punch. I think that one's mine. Yeah.
I'm not big on like super sugary drinks, so I'm not 100% sure. But that Liquid Schwartz one is sort of calling my name with the vodka and the lime juice. Like that's pretty basic, I think. But like, still, either way, there's also non-alcoholic drinks available, and it's gonna be a fun time. Let me see what else. Oh, we have to thank our sponsors for everyone helping us put on this fantastic
To make
show.
this event happen. Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much to NH LASIK. If you have trouble hitting the target, now might be the time to consider getting LASIK. So check out NH LASIK. They can help you out with all your vision needs. Also to Shinobi IT. They do everything from device setup and upgrades. They do not fix your lightsabers, as they will remind you. But if you're looking for parental controls or safe internet, click the QR code. It'll take you to their website. You can see their suite of services. And a very special thank you to Toink. They've provided a bunch of prizes for that we'll be giving away throughout Boonta Eve. There's door prizes and all sorts of fun stuff throughout the night. They have some really fantastic licensed products. And you can use code VCN10 to save 10% on your purchase. And thank you to everyone who...
Yes, all of our wonderful sponsors.
What a great lineup there, yeah.
Yeah, we are very lucky. Thank you, everyone, for helping us put on this spectacular event. And we will see you in Texas in, can you believe it, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
No.
2 weeks.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
It's gonna
I
be
still
such a
got to order
blast.
T-shirts. I'm not set.
Which we should say, merch is coming for I Know.
And Firefly Fridays.
Yep.
Working on
Which
it.
what's happening on the next Firefly Friday by chance?
I don't know. I have this sneaking feeling we might be invaded. I think we might be being attacked by Alliance infiltrators. The dark side may be coming to Firefly Fridays. Yes.
Yeah.
So next Friday, the 31st, last day of July, our very own MVO will be crashing Sarah and Sherry's show for everybody's favorite episode, Shindig. Come watch Kaylee with her Fufura cake layer dress.
Fan favorite.
That dress.
That's right. It's
love it.
wild.
I think if you ask anyone like what's the weird costume that people remember from the show, it's that pink dress. And
that one.
People remember that episode. Like it's one of those where it just like sticks.
Well, I mean, Mal being a fish out of water is never not funny, right?
Yeah.
And so we get to go into Anara's companion level world for a little while.
I like that the prostitute is the one with the highest social standing in the show. It's one of my favorite things because I do think we've actually like started respecting sex workers in a much bigger way in the past few years, especially as OnlyFans has taken off as like an entrepreneurial avenue for that. And Firefly was doing that 20 years ago.
25 years ago. Yep. I've always said I think it's a fantastic idea. I think the whole thing should be unionized. I think there should be healthcare, and I think it should be security and blacklist and everything. Like everything that's in the companion, I think that is what needs to be provided universally across the board. I'm on board.
Nevada was trying to do that for a while, and I think like strippers have unionized in other places.
Yes.
Which is close enough to sex work that you could say like the similar, right? You would imagine there being a similar union for like strippers and prostitutes or sex workers.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the jobs that are the unsafest are the ones that are most in need of labor protections. And in Firefly, you see that like Anara is actually out on her own, kind of doing her own thing, but like still part of a guild. And there are like really specific rules. Like, and there's a different episode, I believe, where she exercises those rules on a guy who behaves badly because he thinks that he is higher up on the totem pole than she is, and she's like, no.
Oh, that's this one. That's Shindig.
Oh, is it in this one?
That's how
they're blending in my head.
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna see some comeuppances for said man who treats her badly, which is nice to see. Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm really looking forward to that. This was so much fun, though. Thank you guys for letting me join you.
Oh, it was a good time. Thanks for helping us out, getting through it with us.
Yeah, and thanks to Spencer and the guys while they're enjoying San Diego.
And trusting the show. Yeah,
and trusting, and I know Takeover and inmates running the asylum for a little bit. So, and thanks to everybody who hung out with us for some of us one of our favorite movies, and lots more discussions could be had. I think you could do a dissertation thesis on this movie itself. So.
Most likely. I agree. All right.
Well, thank you so much. This is an I Know Takeover after all, Sarah.
I was going to say, is that the
perhaps
only thing we have
there's
left?
just one more thing left to say.
I love you.
I know.
Thanks, perfect.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
see ya.
everybody.
Godzilla.